এই রীতিমতো আজ এই দিনটাকে মনের খাতায় লিখে রাখো, কেস হচ্ছে।
ওটা আবার গেয়ে বসলে এক্ষুনি কপিরাইট খেয়ে যাবে। কখনো গুনগুনও করা যায় না আজকাল গান ফান।
সিরিয়াসলি।
Hi guys, thank you for joining the live stream. We are back with Mysterious Sociologist to take a look back and discuss and continue the discussion forward based on some of the things we learned from Professor Salvatore Babones, how much we agree, how much we disagree, and some of the things that he probably made me at least think of it in a new way and in a new direction. So, Mysterious Sociologist, uh, why sh- uh, why shouldn't we or why should we reform or defund sociology?
No, so like he said that this is a political position, obviously, and as is every position in this world, right? Related to policy, funding, government, all this is a product of politics. So let's not
Wait.
shy away from politics.
Hold one moment. So to recap, Salvatore Babones' position on this context was basically debate it amongst yourselves, fight it amongst
Yeah.
yourself, let them fight. So you are one of those people who is the person debating the other people. So it's basically there was no essentially contradiction or disagreement between you two. He was
No,
asking people to debate, and you are the person debating the other side.
precisely,
Right.
precisely. And what becomes evident is the fact that unless like we ourselves take charge of these issues in India, nobody else is going to help us, and rightly so. Like, why should they? uh, I think that he said something really important, that at least let the public be involved, and I think his upcoming book is also on that, and that's my call as well. Let the public know what kind of rubbish is being funded by them. They might, I mean, that might destroy my own career in a process, but my point is, i think that I think that at least what I'm doing is not against this country like many others are doing. I'm sure that they won't say defund everything, पूरा the 100 crore से 0 crore कर दो, ऐसा नहीं बोलेंगे. But I think that they could say that certainly fund certain projects, and not all projects, all kinds of people. And why? And it should be project based, like I kept saying. Like in a science lab, you have to be limited that about what you're researching, right? You might want to research gender dynamics, but science ka lab mein, you if you get if your subject won't allow for that and the professor in charge won't allow for that, in science you cannot do that.
Yeah.
Okay. But in arts and humanities, you can basically study anything and everything. You can study Dalit and Palestinian poetry and call it literary studies. I don't know why we even fund literature. So that's the thing. Like, why? The other thing is, I think the pointer that I got for a different reason was because Australia defunded its liberal arts academia in a
And
big
nobody
way,
knows about it.
and nobody cares and nobody knows, or rather they care but they can't say anything because it's a leftist government doing it. My other point is that yeah, literature and some subjects, why do they need to be funded? That's my other point. Like, and I think hard social sciences still can be funded, but literature, ये क्या है? माने some person is reading some obscure German books and we have to give them 50,000 rupees a month. That's a joke, right? So that's
And
my point basically.
what would it look like making that academia accountable to the public? How would we go about it? What would be the step by step? What governing bodies or what organizational bodies would take care of it?
I personally think that governing bodies वगैरह में अगर senior लोगों को रख दो, so it will just reproduce the problem, because they will put their own biases forth, and they will just say, "Ha, my favorite student is doing work on I don't know, LGBTQ rights in West Bengal, so they fund that research instead of funding research on, let's say, Hindu genocide in Bangladesh." Okay, so it won't matter about if we put in some of the older professors and stuff. That's one big mistake that the government of India has been doing and has always done. I think the solution is ki the political dispensation should come into power and say, "Bhai, we need data on these kind of things. Gather that data. You can be true to your subject by gathering actual data, like he said, कि census, votes, this, that, ये सब जो hard data,
Yeah.
statistical data, maybe some kind of sociological analysis of why certain cultures are problematic in India, have faced problems in India, so called, of integration and all. This kind of research, like the actual pressing problems.
But that places a huge trust on the government, which we do anyway. But and the government has the power to use the academia as their PR arm anyway. But isn't this even destroying the facade of neutrality or some distance from the government and academia?
So I appreciate the concern that he had कि अभी मोदी है, so you are thinking about all this and मोदी चला
That
जाएगा
is,
तो
yeah, that is a very libertarian concern as well. That what happens the day Modi goes out of power and Mamata Banerjee asks you to do the research for, hey, do this, prove why BJP
but
is
they are
fascist.
already doing it now. My point is they have already done it for 70 years or
That is the
so.
thing, yeah. That
This
is the
country has
problem.
produced rubbish and called it research,
That is the problem.
right? And this is not, and I'm just saying ki reverse that direction, that's all. And frankly, it doesn't matter, like even if you don't do it openly and you do it tacitly, people will still say saffronization of education. Huh. I don't know. I have a problem with the Modi government in that it always tries to appease the left, which is impossible to do. If you see the way in which the left cancels people in internationally and other places, in the US, in Europe, you can't appease Hitler. You can't appease crazy people.
Yeah.
I am of the view that why Churchill can, take Churchill's position. Don't take Neville Chamberlain's position that the more you appease a crazy person, the more that person will listen to you.
Yeah,
That
which is
doesn't
why no central government of any country ever listens to terrorists' extortion demands. That if you have kidnapped
except
someone,
us,
yeah,
except
fuck it.
us, except India. We
Yeah.
did listen to terrorist demands. We still
Yes.
do, by the way, because we listen to urban Naxal demands.
Yeah.
We fund sociology and all this subject we give crores of rupees of grants and paisa to you know um, to fund stuff that is absolutely demonizing us, the people of India, which is crazy.
Now, if uh, other than trusting the government, is there any way to make it sort of an election that here's a research, what does the public think about it, and let's ask the public? Is there any way to
I
do that?
thought of it. That could be one way. The government could make a committee of responsible citizens and make them क्या बोले decide on what kind of research to fund or not.
Hmm.
But at the same time, that's the problem with the lack of expertise or
Hmm.
putting in too many experts. So either way is a problem. So if you put in too many experts in social sciences, वो Soviet era का माल है, so I don't know how they will react.
Yeah, like Salvatore Babona's book title, The Tyranny of Experts.
Exactly. And if you put in average common people, they won't know what to do
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Perhaps the government can put in people who are like ideologues, but who are like well trained in the subject. Like ideologue तो बहुत है
Hmm.
India में. अभी RSS has a few crore members and BJP
Hmm.
has like I don't know 20 crore members or
Hmm.
something. But the problem is that that does not mean that they will be able to understand what can be done
You
to
know,
remedy this.
think of it like how Brexit was done, a sort of public promotional campaign. So I don't think it's completely impossible or a completely bad thing then that actually it opens kind of different kinds of job opportunities. Let's say sorts of PR campaigns for specific academics or specific academic departments that you convince people, the Jonogon, the masses, that why your research needs to be funded.
Yeah, but think about it. Like I have seen that UGC, for example, gives out वो क्या होता है ना UGC gave out suggestion slips for that thing
Hmm.
NEP,
Hmm.
National Education
Yeah, yeah.
Policy, and very few people even cared. Very few even like proper Sangh wale even they didn't care much. Only
Ah,
a few very few people did that.
caring से याद आया. Did you see that small portion? Since we were so short of time, we did not elaborate on that. He said that we tried to fight the caste census thing in California, and we were trying to do research, and we set up an organization, but we did not find enough sufficient funds. Our
Ha,
poor
yes, I
NRIs,
got that.
devout
Hindu
Hindu,
and
trad NRIs could not fund a fucking
could
sociological
not.
association.
वही तो होता है प्रॉब्लम यही है हिंदू
লেওড়া
do
সারাদিন বলে যাচ্ছে উই মাস্ট ডু সামথিং উই মাস্ট অ্যাওয়েকেন আর ক্ষত্রিয় স্পিরিটস
अरे
উই
ये
মাস্ট
लोग
ফান্ড
करोड़पति
दिस.
है ये लोग कोई गरीब रिक्शा वाला टोटो वाला ऑटो वाला गरीब वेंडर्स नहीं है सम ऑफ देम अर्न मिलियंस ऑफ डॉलर्स इन द यूएस
ইয়েস,
पैसा पैसा कहाँ खर्च करेंगे वो डेमोक्रेट को डोनेशन देंगे
হুইচ এনআরআই ইজ নট আ মিলিয়নিয়ার ইন ইউএসএ?
वही तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ
या
और बात यह है कि वो साले पैसा देंगे इसको क्या बोले डेमोक्रेट पार्टी को हिलरी क्लिंटन को पैसा देंगे
and Salvatore Babones is pretty famous already, at least in the BJP supporter circles
या
of NRIs.
प्रिसाइसली
They couldn't
वो
fund this
डोनेट
one thing.
एक दो मिलियन 3 मिलियन डोनेट करने में क्या है आई मीन आई डोंट नो दैट्स चंप चेंज फॉर लाइक द यूएस एनआरआईज राइट
Hmm.
सम ऑफ देम ऐसे ही सब आधे सीईओ बन के बैठे सो
Yeah.
दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम विथ हिंदूज डू नॉट नो हाउ टू and this is why like the government must give up a facade of neutrality altogether I believe
Actually, Abhay made a good point here. Listen to this, okay? Are you
yeah
checking the live chat?
yeah I am slowly yeah
Abhay said that, wait, we need to work towards one purpose till we have power. There is no other solution because once we lose power, it's going to happen anyway.
precisely 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 और अभी we did not have power right 10 years ago 10 years छोड़ो मोदी तो till 2019 did not even call himself a Hindu properly so my point is till 2019 or so we were powerless it doesn't matter
Yeah.
right it what matters is now that people are in power we must change the narrative
Hmm.
and the narrative is not to be changed for propaganda purpose I'm not saying यार अभी narrative change करके सबको मतलब झूठ बोलो I have enough faith in history and our indigenous क्या बोले indigenous historiography that people given the right unbiased information will become supporters of Hindutva
Hmm.
it's just a matter of time it's not a matter of if it's a matter of when
Hmm.
okay so ये confidence होना चाहिए it's not
Yeah.
about fooling people it's about telling people the truth
Yeah.
it's about telling people about the numerous genocides it's about telling people the state what communists did during their time here it's about telling people how minorities are faring in different parts of South Asia not just Indian borders etc
Hmm.
it's all these issues numerous I can list 20 issues right now
Hmm.
that can be put in front of people objectively
Hmm.
because the other side has done एक गुजरात राइट के ऊपर 500 बुक्स हैव बीन रिटन
Hmm.
बट एक कश्मीरी पंडित एथनिक क्लेंजिंग के ऊपर एक भी बुक नहीं है प्रॉपर you don't have one academic survey of that
Hmm.
by a noted sociologist or historian
Yeah.
right so my point is कि सबके सामने डेटा रखो it's not about the quantity of data perhaps even the quality of studies and data that I agree with Babonis quite wholeheartedly and रख के देखो I have faith that most normal college goers and normal people not ideologues they will all agree that by Hindus are a persecuted minority global minority we are just majority in name in India
Hmm.
okay
And
so that must be put forth
And that is actually why BJP is winning, because the college students and all are convinced that yeah, this is actually a fair thing to do.
Actually, I disagree with you a bit on why BJP is winning.
Okay.
If that is the case,
Hmm.
the BJP is winning because of toilets.
Hmm.
You cannot take that away. Toilets, bank accounts,
Hmm. Hmm.
Ladli Beti, Ayushman Bharat. That's why BJP is actually winning, because Hindus still vote on onion prices. Hindus,
Very true. Very true.
Hindus like majority. If there are 100 crore Hindus,
Hmm.
then then maybe 80 crore Hindus vote on 80 crore vote nahi dete hai, but still like 80% of that population,
Hmm.
the voting share
Hmm.
will be voting on onion prices
Hmm.
and inflation and gas ka price, electricity, all that stuff,
Hmm.
toilet. Huh.
What
If
Shekhar is saying here, this reminds me that he's saying that अरे वो छोड़ो 26/11 पे next day book आ गई थी for saffron terror. Did you see that one of the guys who was in the at the inauguration of that book has joined BJP?
Oh yeah. Like, and no, see, I don't. Earlier, I used to not like that. What are they doing in BJP?
Hmm.
Whether it's a joke or not on us. But then I realized one thing. Yeah, in West Bengal, they tried both things. When the
Hmm.
BJP was pure and untouched by anyone,
Hmm.
then nobody cared about the BJP. 2% people used to vote for BJP.
Hmm.
ठीक है? And we know the results. We
Hmm.
suffered. We
Hmm.
keep suffering. जब BJP tried to play a very underhanded game, then also it lost badly again. So either way, my point is, when BJP had a fine balance of the two, कि
Hmm.
कुछ leaders को लिया and there were ideologues and all, then
Hmm.
2019 was our so far the best result of
Hmm.
BJP in West
Yeah.
Bengal. Okay, vote
Yeah.
share wise, seat share wise, everything wise. Okay,
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter. Like कुछ ले लिया 26/11 के लोगों को, that's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter anymore, because people don't care about ideology as much as many of us do, and we have to accept that harsh reality and move on.
Actually, this is where Marxists and libertarian critique comes in, I guess, a bit against Max Weber, that people think that everyone cares about ideology except them, but at the end of the day, it's 90% convenience, 10% ideology, culture, religion, maybe.
Precisely. Even lesser, I would say. Even lesser in the ideology thing.
Hmm.
It seems like a lot because we have like 100 crore Hindus, then globally we are a bit more. So सुन के देख के लगता है करोड़ों है,
Hmm.
lots of crores,
Hmm.
but that's maybe 5% of the whole Hindu population,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Mira Tripathi is saying that if Kasab hadn't been caught alive, just imagine what 2611 would have been called. Yeah, it would be called a RSS
हाँ,
secret
उनका
plot.
प्लान था कि वो जो सावरकर के साथ किया था ना,
Hmm.
they would have done that with Modi after that. They would have done that. They would have tried that. It's I would say, like, this is why reading certain core texts, and I don't think bunch of thoughts is that text. I'm sorry, I'm not a big fan of that. Or integral humanism and all that. I think reading texts like Pakistan or the Partition of India,
Hmm.
Savarkar's, you know, that history book he had written. I
Hmm.
keep forgetting that.
Hindu Rashtra Darshan.
Ha 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 ha. And these kind of books, these are basic stuff you must read.
Savarkar actually makes a point that we kind of agree with, that you were saying at the beginning, that in the end, it might be said that no matter which side wins, I guess it's some sort of justice anyway, because after all, he won with whether it's skill set, luck, God's graces on them, whatever. He earned that victory. So in the end, I
Yeah.
guess everything is probably democracy, because even if you beat people up, why do you have the people to beat other people up?
No, and that will always be there. One thing you must learn from Gramsci and these Marxists is that they have no facade of neutrality and this and that. They're like, हमारा vision ही superior है,
Hmm.
without any exception whatsoever, and that's it. They impose their vision. They're like, bourgeois are bad. Who are bourgeois? Whom we call bourgeois. It
Yeah.
could be a rickshawala
Anybody I hate is
random.
bourgeois. Yes.
It could be a beggar supporting BJP. वो भी bourgeois हो गया.
Yeah.
or Ratan Tata invests in CPIM, so he's not bourgeois. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Like this is a very identity, like Deen or that thing, right? Like it doesn't matter
Yeah.
whom the party decides to go against, they just do it.
Yeah.
And
Yesterday. Yeah. Go
precisely
on.
why.
Yesterday, some senior BJP people, by senior I mean by age, very, very senior, about 80, 90 years old, 5, 6 BJP people held some seminar or meeting of sorts. They were showing on ABP Anando about basically threatening to give votes to Nota because they are unhappy with the people being given tickets from
ये
BJP in
उनका
Bengal.
पुराना ये उनका पुराना है. And this is why Hindus never. Have you ever seen Muslims do this? Like only Hindus
Never.
keep.
Actually,
Hindus are
there was
very.
some famous academic, legit leftist academic only, pointing it out on Shekhar Gupta or Barkhadat's podcast that Muslims have never cared for Muslim politicians to represent them. They just want their cause furthered. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter who represents it.
yeah. ये अम्बेडकर ने लिखा था उस बुक में, पाकिस्तान ऑफ द पार्टीशन ऑफ इंडिया. That is a proper sociological and psychological analysis of Indian Muslims.
Hmm.
He said, यार तुमको उसको मस्जिद, you tell him that I'll make a road or something, I'll give you nice benefits and stuff, and they'll be like, यार मस्जिद में लाइट लगाओ, ये करो वो करो ये सब. Their first thought is to preserve their calm.
Hmm.
And our first thought is मुझे टिकट नहीं मिला. अरे भाई, it doesn't matter. But frankly, here's the fun thing about democracy, and Modi I think just cracked it really well. Modi,
Hmm.
Amit Shah, that whole team.
Yeah.
They know यार टॉयलेट बना के मिल जाएगा, ये इनका कोई जोकर और किसी किसी को जोकर को खड़ा कर देंगे, मोदी का पिक्चर दे
Yeah.
देंगे. People will vote for Modi because they know that भाई मुझे टॉयलेट मिलेगा, पैसा मिलेगा if
Hmm.
Modi comes,
Do
वैक्सीन
you
मिलेगा.
think there's any line, or should it be completely free for all as long as you win votes?
नहीं, so ये line thing is a bit of a problem. I think it's always a balance. It's always about like how much you can't expect every leader to be very ideologically motivated towards Hindutva. वो
No,
कभी
but
नहीं
this
होगा.
2611 guy seems to be a too much to digest. Just
हो
for
सकता है.
morality's sake,
I
whatever
have
that
stopped thinking
accounts
about
for.
all this because they said that Hafiz Saeed might also join BJP one day. But they once said कि ऐसे ऐसे लोग join कर, Hafiz Saeed, Osama bin Laden might join. But I see results. ये 370 हट गया, राम मंदिर बन गया. Now, without taking turncoats and leftists into the government, these things would not have been done. Toilet भी नहीं बनता और मंदिर भी नहीं बनता, right? So either way, it doesn't matter. So I've stopped thinking about all this. See, winning is more important. You saw what happened to BJP workers when we did not win, right?
Yeah.
In 2021.
Yeah.
Winning is very important. Winning is most important. If you mess that up, you are literally in West Bengal. It's a matter of life and death. You can wait in Rajasthan for 5 years and vote again. But if you lose in West Bengal, you lose your life. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is more important.
Yeah.
और वैसे भी देखो, it doesn't matter. Modi is dedicated to Hindutva. As far as I know, Amit Shah and these people are dedicated. You know, they will always form the top core of the movement. Right? It doesn't matter. ये जो 26-11 है, ये अभी मोदी अमित शाह का पैर चाट देगा. ये doesn't matter.
वो तो चाटा है, इसीलिए उसको टिकट मिला है.
Yeah, exactly. And I would rather they keep some idiots in the government, like some people who would be, you know, who would be at the beck and call of Modi and Amit Shah, if that means that the government has to run. ये democracy वगैरह छोड़ो. Everything is power.
Yeah, I think governance requires some bitches, and if Congress people are happy being bitches of Amit Shah, it's fine.
क्या कांग्रेस पहले क्या था? पहले कांग्रेस के लीडर्स व्हाट वर दे? सोनिया गांधी को टैटू कर रहा है बॉडी में, सोनिया गांधी को माता जी वी आर एट योर फीट बोल के,
बापू अब चले गए,
बापू अब चले गए बोल के चिल्ला रहे हैं समाजवादी लोग. ये what this was a joke, so Modi has to make do with these jokers, right? Some of these jokers need to be used.
Yeah.
क्या बोलूं? This is a representative of this is what happens when you for 70 years you vote for Congress. I was watching the movie Maidan yesterday. And I said out loud in the hall, this is what happens when you elect Congress and CPIM, right? You have a team that won the gold in the Asian Games, and then और कभी कोई international tournament में जगह ही नहीं मिला कभी उसके बाद.
Okay, Lokavia, this profile asks some good questions, but usually they are so out of context that I don't take them. Today he is asking some question, I think, which you are in a perfect position to answer. I guess he's referring to the Bulabhadra research. He's saying that I've heard somewhere that Marx disagreed with colonization's methods and measures, however, agreed with its mindset, aka the destruction of the inferior Asiatic ways of life like China and
Yes.
India. Could you elaborate on that?
It is true. It is true that Marx was a racist guy. Racist भी नहीं बोलना चाहिए मतलब हाँ it racism was default here because these guys were growing up in a society that was highly mechanized and industrialized and developed in its time, right?
Hmm.
So when he sees that यार ये लोग चड्डी पहन के घूम रहे हैं,
Hmm.
so they will think ये मोगली का ही बच्चा है ना, तो they will think like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
It doesn't Marx being averse to, okay, so I remember this quote in 1853 Marx had written that ब्रिटिश आएंगे तो कास्ट सिस्टम पूरा खत्म हो जाएगा
Hmm.
बिकॉज ये रेलवेज बनाएंगे, घर बार मॉडर्नाइज कर देंगे, ये जो फ्यूडल विलेज सोसाइटी है वो खत्म हो जाएगा, ब्रिटिश लोग राज करेंगे एंड दिस विल हेल्प द इंडियंस डिस्ट्रॉय कास्ट एंड ऑल दिस रिलीजियन एंड ऑल दिस बुलशिट.
Yeah.
ओके, सो वो तो नहीं हुआ, उल्टा ब्रिटिश आने के बाद कास्ट गॉट वर्स. बट दैट्स माय अदर पॉइंट इज दैट मार्क्स थॉट दैट द वेज ऑफ लाइफ, so Marx was a stagist guy. Okay, for Marx it was a like a stage, an inevitable stage in human development.
Hmm.
Some countries like Europe achieved it faster, some like India or China would achieve it much slower.
Hmm.
And Africa में तो कभी नहीं इन लोगों के लिए.
Hmm.
So or maybe much slower, like 300 years down the line.
Hmm.
So they were for colonization in that way. Like they were like, these people are horrible.
Hmm.
They are animals. They are primitive. They are half cannibals. इनको ठीक करो, डंडा मार के इंग्लिश सिखा के साइंस सिखा के ठीक करो. And that civilizing mission has been always there among the communists. For them, our methods of worship,
Hmm.
our way of life has always been a primitive rubbish that they have tried to kind of reform. This has been their zeal internally. Matlab they
It's
look at
brown
Hindu
man's
society.
burden.
Have you noticed how they look at? They say WhatsApp University. They say various things about Hindutva. Even when you're making a wonderful point or logical point, ये लोग वही बोलेंगे WhatsApp University, गोमूत्रा, ये यही बोलेंगे. So that attitude among Marxists has remained. That has not gone.
Look, this is the point that most people have not yet understood about your point being that West Bengal is the most casteist society. If what we believe in, our point of view, where I agree with Mr. Sociologist, is that caste is nothing but status groups. If it is status groups, then that casteism and those caste systems are still alive today, which is what I've been saying since before I even met him, that Virat Kohli will marry Anushka Sharma. It's not caste, and if it is caste, it is status. So in terms of that status, today we again have PhDs, let's say equivalent to yesteryears, or IAS people who are saying that you don't know anything, you are from WhatsApp University, and he's disrespecting you, he's disrespecting Sanjeev Sanyal, he's disrespecting anyone who is defending Sanjeev Sanyal. How is this different from a Brahmin or Kshatriya disrespecting a Shudra? That is why exactly why caste and status is absolutely similar and absolutely same.
Precisely. I think we have a interesting point here in the super chat.
I am Probashi Bengali in IIT. The monopoly of communists in student body is slowly being challenged. It's always 2 steps forward, 1 step back. By Probashi you mean like outside West Bengal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Hopefully not IIT Madras, because that's the worst. IIT Delhi भी कम नहीं है, but IIT Madras is like halfway towards TIS. It's horrible. IITs are horrible. You have no idea. IITs are like social science department in IITs are like, yeah, you will mistake them for some some Soviet Union departments. क्या बोलेंगे? I think even Soviet Union was more nationalist. I would be mistaken.
Soviet Union was obviously nationalist. China is nationalist. CCP is nationalist.
So let's go back to Augustus's question. So I am Probashi Bengali, monopoly of commies are being challenged. Yeah, of course, it will be challenged, but my point is that let's say in IIT, where the student body is very well educated. Some of the best students in this country go to these institutes. So then what do we do?
Hmm.
The only reason they are coming to our side is because they are finding out the truth from people like Jesai Deepak,
Hmm.
Sanjeev Sanyal, is that
Hmm.
okay? और देना पड़ेगा,
Hmm.
और truth का dose बढ़ाना पड़ेगा.
This is why yesterday, have you seen our podcast with Professor Srijit Dotto yesterday? Have you seen the
No, I
full podcast?
saw a small bit, but
Okay.
I was watching Maidan, so sorry
One
about
of
that.
his answers that I like the most, a phenomenal answer, he was giving basically absolutely step by step, clear cut 3 steps how to reform humanities academia. Okay.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
the third step, he said, first step, he said language, mother tongue needs to be prioritized. Second point, I don't exactly remember. Third point was that we, the people, meaning him, and people in
yeah.
academia who believe in these things have to be absolutely savagely voracious readers and writers so that the
Absolutely.
volume itself beats out every fucking thing. So that the
Yes,
government
yes.
has a bundle, a mountain of books and papers and scholarships to refer from. At the moment, we don't have such things.
Nahi, one thing about what he said is, so look at Jesai Deepak and Anand Rangan. None of them are humanities professors.
Yeah, उनसे तो नहीं
That
होगा.
is the worst part. You have a guy like Shomode, who's a wonderful Indian Bengali professor who is an expert on Indian history in from medieval to modern period. He's a brilliant guy. He has to teach in private, in a private university. My point is that
Which nobody has heard of.
yes, sadly, and that's the sad part, that we have wonderful people even on our side, but the
Yeah,
government does not incentivize them. Okay, a government Modi ji textbook, or and you know the worst part about textbooks, changing school textbook doesn't really matter, because this has been my understanding that textbook में कुछ basic चीजें तो तुमको बदलना पड़ेगा ही.
hmm.
Okay, one thing I have always wanted to say out loud, that um, the government should now start saying, they say, I don't know if you guys remember, we read about Aryan invasion and
Yeah,
your caste, Brahmins and all this
hmm.
rubbish. Huh? We read that in school, right?
Yeah,
Abhi tak that bullshit is going on.
yeah. Now, only
Read
2-3
Aryan
weeks
invasion.
back, it was announced that it's now going to go away.
अरे now going away नहीं, give latest research ना, give research that Japan में caste है, अमेरिका में caste है, यहाँ पे caste है, वहाँ पे caste, दो ना. तुम लोग क्या कर रहे हो? This is what happens when either the people in charge are senior professors who didn't read anything after 1970.
Yeah.
Okay, or basically हमारे लोग जो है, they are, even when they are talented and they don't have power to influence policy.
Hmm.
So what is the point? I mean Modi ji आने के बाद I love the fact that there are at least movies like Savarkar getting made. Okay, apart from the fact that toilets बना रहे हैं, रास्ता बना रहे हैं, ये सब ठीक है, I love that. But there's a Savarkar movie being made. वो भी ठीक है, but do more. Savarkar ऐसे हमारे, thanks to your channel and its supporters, perhaps a bit of my effort, 50 tickets were sponsored by us. ऐसे बहुत लोग दिए हैं, sponsor किया है. It had to put a buy one get one offer. फिर जाके they just recovered the budget somehow.
That was very unfair what happened to the movie. It bugs
Yeah.
me. This was one of the best
Now,
movies.
the good thing I must tell you is you should not lose faith in the people, because, like I said, the bulk of people who could have watched the movie ended up being on the roads because of the election.
Yes, but the financiers of the movie who lost money on this movie, they are not going to forgive
No,
Randeep Hooda.
loss नहीं हुआ है, somehow just recovered. They have recovered it. Just recovered.
That recovery is lost because they put
That's
so
true.
much time and brains
मतलब
behind it.
50 crore minimum income करता तो I
Yeah.
think that would have been a good
Yeah.
anyway.
So I think it has sent a message to Bollywood that there's not really as much of a demand of these movies that we think there is. Maybe there's just some hula baloo, but we
Again,
don't really need
I
to.
am telling you, if 370 के इतने करीब नहीं, if they didn't release
Yeah,
it
yeah.
so fast after 370, Bastar also lost money because of that. Bastar also lost money.
No,
Because
Buster
they
lost money, I
released-
think, because no one cares about Naxalism anymore
I
today.
think, personally, I'm telling you, even Bastar was not horribly made. It was not the worst movie I saw. Okay, and it's an okay movie. It's an okay movie.
Yeah,
And
that is my bigger problem. That Savarkar is a
it could have
genuinely.
recovered its budget. Savarkar was, for example, it was a really well-made movie.
Yeah,
It was
that is
a
my problem.
brilliant movie,
Yeah.
right? And they what did they do? Like the party could not support him, right?
The so the financiers are getting the message now that either you make absolute, I mean, let's say okay ordinary movies like Buster or Kerala Stories, you make some money, or you make just RRR type of movies where you hit one person and five people fly in the air. There's no space for movies like Savarkar even now, where there's genuine critique, deep emotional एग्जामिनेशन ऑफ ह्यूमैनिटी एट्सेट्रा. वो सब का लवड़ा अभी भी टाइम नहीं आया है. चलो और 10 साल बात करेंगे. सावरकर्स फ्लॉप डिलेड अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स आई थिंक.
Me too. And it's like I feel bad for Huda.
या
He practically risked his life for the movie, man. I
या
mean, it's
एंड
just
ही इज
sad.
प्रोबेबली गोइंग टू बी बॉयकॉटेड बाय बॉलीवुड फॉर द अनफोर्सीन फ्यूचर.
बीजेपी शुड स्टार्ट, वो क्या देते थे ना अमिताभ बच्चन को, कोई पेंशन देता था ना अखिलेश एंड ऑल. मोदी शुड स्टार्ट सम पेंशन फॉर दीज गाइज यार. महीना में 10 लाख लो एंड
वेट एट
मेक गुड
लीस्ट.
माइंड. टैक्स पेयर का पैसा से टैक्स पेयर के लिए कुछ बनाओ ना. वी पे टैक्सेस, मेक शिट फॉर अस. इवन इफ
Yeah.
इट फ्लॉप्स, आई डोंट केयर, स्पेंड इट देयर.
Yeah, West Bengal government funded all of Satyajit Ray's movies.
तुमको
Now,
लिबरल आर्ट्स एकेडमिया फंड ना करके तुम रणदीप हुडा को फंड करके बोलो ना 10 फिल्म बनाओ. इवन इफ इट फ्लॉप्स, इट्स देयर इन द ईथर. You
yeah,
can watch it. Now it's OTT ka zamana, so you can always watch it, rewatch it repeatedly. It's not a problem. Some films never work. Like Shawshank Redemption was a flop in its day,
yeah.
right? And then everyone watches it now, right?
So when
I agree with Akshay. Savarkar should have been released after the elections. I also think it should have been released right after BJP would cross 350 seats. रिलीज कर दो, सब संघी हो जाएंगे. पूरा 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 इंडिया संघी. वेस्ट बंगाल में सबसे बड़ा हिट सावरकर.
when West Bengal did not have money to teach English, apparently they were still funding Satyajit Ray's movies, and now we don't even own the property to that.
अरे
It's been
not
sold
even
to.
सत्यजीत रे मूवी, वो तो फिर भी
Now
ठीक
the
है.
movies are on Hoichoi. It's not even public property anymore.
Precisely. So this is, I mean, it's a sad thing. Let's move on a bit. I think we have another super chat.
No,
From
wait.
Augustus.
When one important question from Gamer Vegeta, I wanted to respond to it. It's not a question. That he's saying that, by the way, be careful. CPIM will brand you as Tojo's dog, like Netaji. Actually, there's a fun part that CPIM does in every 10-15 years. They apologize for some insane shit that they have done 10, 20 years back. So Jyoti Basu actually apologized for not I think bringing on computers in the state, and then he apologized for also.
ये लोग आजकल यूपीआई में भीख मांग रहे हैं. CPIM is begging on you.
And they apologize for calling Netaji Tojo's dog. They apologize for abusing Rabindranath. আমাদের ভুল হয়েছিল.
Their birth certificate should be apologies, no? Anyway, my point is that they're like, you're right, and CPIM will brand everyone they don't like, na. CPIM has branded everyone, everything. वो खुद जिसे बांग्ला में कहता है धुआ तुलसी पता, वो सब, they are the pristine and most precious things to have ever come on earth.
Yeah.
Sadly, ये propaganda doesn't work, and we should expose them even more.
Wouldn't you say that we could be accused of almost being a Trinamool B team because we do better critics of CPIM than Trinamool has ever done?
Trinamool was a movement. Trinamool has evolved into a crime syndicate. It did not. It was never a political party, right? It was a movement, and then I don't know, the most horrible people in the state got together and said, "Yeah, bhai, it's like the Roman Empire absorbing Christianity and becoming Christians. It's like that." ये कोई मतलब, it lost the main reason why people voted for TMC and campaigned for it, and I know a bunch of people who actually did it from a good place, right? Bimal Shankar Nanda and many others. They have left the CPIM, TMC many years ago. जैसे even many communists left the CPIM, including Utpal Datto and this guy, the Megheta Katara guy, Ritik Ghatok, and a lot of people, Shomoresh Bosu and all.
Those are, I
West
guess, what you would call the lone wolf communists. So that the party is not communist enough. I am the better communist. So
or
Kaushik Sen,
go and have that fallacy is there among
hmm,
many of them.
yeah,
And frankly, this is what happens. What Dr. Babonis said, right? Like these people haven't grown up. ये लोग अभी स्टूडेंट मोड में है और
yeah.
जब बच्चे थे सोचा कि रेवोल्यूशन करेंगे अभी भी सोच रहे रेवोल्यूशन करेंगे
Babunas's
एक्चुअली
answers were great on this.
yeah and his answer was perfect
Yeah. Okay.
that
So now the super chat. He's saying I'm a physics PhD student. Science is mostly apolitical here, not always, but mostly there is a huge difference between humanities and sciences in IITs.
precisely our point,
Hmm.
precisely why we are not saying defund physics,
Yeah.
defund nanotechnology.
Yeah.
Okay, आयरन मैन सूट बनाओ कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है बट ये क्या हो रहा है कि जेंडर डायनामिक्स ऑफ आयरन मैन ये सब नहीं चलेगा.
Hmm. But
Okay.
there are plenty of such accusations against string theory as well. Are you aware of that conversation, that discourse?
I am not aware of that particular discourse, but yes, arguments can be made that theoretical physics is a gadda.
No, specifically string theory. Some people accuse that it was I think popularized or propped up by some people who deliberately wanted physics research to go to hell, like some governments, so that physics does not progress anymore, so that we end up not producing any more harmful things. So just go around funding this
अच्छा,
dead end research in string theory.
tell me one thing. इंडिया में कितने physicists, serious physicists are actually, and I guess the physics PhD guy can answer this well in the chat. कितने लोग actually string theory लेके research कर रहे हैं?
No idea. It's mainly an American problem.
Precisely
But
my
it is a
other
dead
point,
end one for
what
30
Dr.
years.
Gabonis said, that a poor country cannot do a lot of stuff that rich countries can. Rich countries can throw crores at research, right?
That was
And
one of his best answers, right? That old people cannot be funded, should not be
yeah,
funded.
yeah.
Because what are you
I
going to
mean,
do with that
I
PhD at 70 years?
disagree with him till maybe your 50s or something. Because teaching के लिए, see, I know that a 70-year-old person who cannot even walk straight should not be. Yeah, Biden को PhD करवा के कोई
Yeah.
फायदा नहीं है. But a 40-50-year-old person can contribute. And ये PhD का जो necessity है ये मेरे को बेकार लगता है for a different reason. Okay. Many PhDs are there. Frankly, PhDs are overrated. If you go and ask some of the PhDs in sociology, what basic Professor Babones jo bola, I am a Durkheimian functionalist and all. If you ask them, please state two aspects of Durkheimian functionality as opposed to Marxian conflict perspective. इला ऐसे ही हक देंगे. इनको basic sociology नहीं पता है.
Pretty much.
तो it's overrated. It's completely
Actually,
overrated.
isn't the PhD upadhi the same as the IAS having to write how many hair there
Power
was in
का
Rabindranath Tagore's beard? Because it's a test of your rigor and discipline.
Yeah,
and
it's like how much you have been able to memorize and understand one tiny part of. So here's very interesting. So I had met a guy who's doing his PhD on Japanese history and owns a company in Britain. He's a British guy. And he himself is like, he owns a company, by the way. Like पूरा पैसा वैसा, he has a wife and kids. He's old. He's like 50 or 45 almost. Okay. वो अभी passion है उसका जापान के लिए, इसलिए PhD कर रहा है. So then I asked him that, I think somebody asked him that, do you think you would hire a PhD in your company? He said, I don't think so, because a person with very specific knowledge in a niche dimension, that will be useless in my company, which is a finance company. So ये खुद PhD कर रहा है, खुद बोल रहा है कि PhD in Japanese history is useless in his company. He himself won't hire one. So think about it, like can a poor country, again bringing back Professor Babones' point, can a poor country afford to have a PhD in intersectionality? Afford. By afford, I mean tum do the math, somebody. I hope one of you can do the math. 40,000 rupees or 50,000 rupees. 5 years per month, 5 years. How much is that? that's like 6 lakhs into 5,
Hmm.
6 fives are 30.
Hmm.
तुम 30 लाख रुपया एक बंदे को दे रहे हो
Hmm.
to study what rubbish?
Hmm. Okay, let me be a commie for a while now and argue the counterpoint. Wait, Augustus is replying that 5-6 teams in India may be engaged in string theory. Most of physics PhD are in solid state physics and spectroscopy. Mostly 60
Yeah,
70% of
precisely.
them. So 30% are doing string theory.
30 भी नहीं, वो कम ही होगा और कम होगा.
Hmm.
And it
And
doesn't matter, like that's the thing. And or hoga bhi kaha, like maybe in IITs or something, like where a lot of advanced physics is happening. I'm not saying string theory पढ़ के कोई आशुतोष कॉलेज में नहीं पढ़ेगा कि प्रेसिडेंसी में नहीं मिलेगा.
hmm.
Or
And
people he's talking about are probably in IITs or really like NIAS and all these like really hardcore awesome places, like or ISC in Bangalore, that these kind of places.
hmm.
Okay.
He is saying, Ninar is saying, Dada, why hoodie in hot Kolkata weather? Because I don't live in Kolkata actually. Uh, and okay, Mr.
It's a diverse.
Sociologist, since
Yeah.
you are saying that we are too poor to research intersectionality, wouldn't that be an extra reason to study intersectionality? Because what about the poor people who are intersectionally lower at the fag end of oppression, since they are way more oppressed, and on top of that there's poverty? So why not research harder to uplift these people?
Who's like when you define people with gender dysphoria as the minority
Hmm.
and do not talk about let's say people who are escaping actual religious persecution in Bangladesh
Hmm.
or Kashmir
Hmm.
um, as
Gender violence.
minorities. Then that depends on what your priorities in life are. And frankly, if that is your worst thing, that somebody pronounced your surname wrong, then I think you live too much of a privileged life to know anything about real life.
What about the
ये भी
transgender
बोला ना,
suicide?
even Dr. Babu even mentioned that कि ये लोग ये स्कूल कॉलेज यूनिवर्सिटी फिर यूनिवर्सिटी में जॉब
Great
फिर
point.
फिर जूनियर एकेडमिक सीनियर एकेडमिक मर गए.
Hmm.
हाँ, सो
Yeah.
कुछ 4 प्रिविलेज क्लास स्टूडेंट को पढ़ा लिया
Hmm.
ट्यूशन में या एक्स्ट्रा बीड़ी पीते पीते
Hmm.
हो गया तुम्हारा लाइफ.
Hmm.
You know nothing even about the toto walas outside your college campus. You
Hmm.
don't know anything about them either.
See, the reason, the way the upper caste hegemonies ended or decreased, for those same reasons, the hegemony of academia will also end. For exact this same sort of behavior, the IAS
Yeah,
hegemony will also end because of these reasons. Arrogance is never forever rewarded by society, humanity, universe, anything.
precisely.
And
No, and I think you know this arrogance should be upheld. Like this should be put in front of the people. Again, echoing
hmm,
what Dr. Babones said,
hmm,
कि इसको we should highlight this more and more. That
hmm,
is our politics. That will be our politics.
hmm,
Defund sociology is just a जैसे कांग्रेस मुक्त भारत.
hmm,
It does not mean कांग्रेस को पूरा खत्म कर दो. Defund sociology mean end every sociologist life in India. No,
yeah,
ऐसा नहीं है.
hmm,
But be responsible.
hmm,
Make it responsible. Make Congress great again,
hmm.
if it was ever great.
Okay, someone actually asked something important. I forgot to ask you about this. He asked that what is the difference between socialism and integral humanism, if any?
ये तो I have never found a huge difference in it, and frankly, I think that the guy was just apologizing. I mean, no offense to Pandit Deendayal Upadhyay, but I felt that ये apologia mode तब से ही था कि हम लोग actually humanist है, ये है, अच्छे है, please like us, etc.
Hmm.
Like, share and subscribe.
Hmm.
तो ये बात था पहले.
Hmm.
We're not bad people. We're not fascists. Sorry for killing Gandhi, etc.
Hmm.
So it doesn't mean anything, okay?
Hmm.
Because if you think that without, like, this is why BJP could not come to power in the center so well before Modi.
Hmm.
Because BJP without Modi was basically CPM not killing people,
Hmm.
right? So that's the thing.
What about
It's yeah,
uh,
yeah.
Actually, Kushal Mehra also says that he has read things extensively. Even he agrees that it's just socialism, integral humanism.
Hmm. Yeah, precisely.
What would an RSS person say? What would be his argument if he tries to argue that it is not, in fact, socialism?
Well, socialism has certain aspects of coercion that I don't think that the Sangh
Acha.
is capable of undertaking. Like,
It isn't capable of it, or it doesn't want to. In what is it's written in the theory?
when I say it isn't capable, I think that the Sangh is too democratic to think in terms of violent outcomes. It's a problem, like for the Sangh to be a sasta version of CPIM.
Okay, so you are saying there's no difference in the theory, but the execution will inevitably be different because of the organization of RSS itself.
Yes, yes.
I
The
see.
see Sangh का basic क्या है? Sangh का basic है Hinduism, right?
Hmm.
Where and the क्या बोलूं मैं? CPIM's basic is to kill people.
Hmm.
So the very basic aspect differs somewhere. CPIM is Abrahamic, whereas the Sangh somewhere even at its worst is basically an offshoot of Hindu political thought
Hmm.
and
Right.
political this thing.
Right. And I.
Somebody is asking about me, my identity. Is mysterious sociologist from North Calcutta. I know this voice very well.
You'll never know where he's from. You'll never be able to guess. And
I'm from North Korea. So,
I want to talk to you about intersectionality a little more. How much time do you have?
I have. Chalo,
Okay,
chalo.
so let me be a commie for half an hour.
क्या
What
है?
about the transgenderism suicides? Why are you so against a person who is getting misgendered? No one takes their gender dysphoria seriously, and that person is poor.
Okay, I don't want to end my now that people are trying to decipher my identity. I don't want to end my career live on your show. So my point is that uh, my point is slightly different. That
Hmm.
the Sangh bochi, the transgender thing.
Hmm.
I have a now the one thing that bothers me a bit is that there's a certain privileged class that uh, does this actually. When I say privileged, I mean rich, typically people with a ton of money. They are the ones. I've never seen a very poor, and I have interacted with my fair share of poor people
Hmm.
in West Bengal and India,
Hmm.
and I've never seen them talking about gender dysphoria, pronouns, and this kind of thing.
Aren't
Okay,
they aren't they not being able to come out with their grievances because of their poverty? Maybe they also feel gender dysphoria. It's just that they don't have a voice.
do they have time to feel gender dysphoria? That is my other point. That matlab, what is the point of indulging in this? And frankly, I don't want to get too much into the details because people like Matt Walsh and all have critiqued this quite effectively, I would say.
No,
But yes, the point, huh?
actually they haven't. They have made fun of it enough to make it irrelevant, but the critiques are still there. There, I don't
I
think the in-depth academic counters have not yet come in.
I am actually my problem slightly is that I have never thought too much about gender
Hmm.
to actually comment in a very authoritative manner about this.
Hmm.
I think more along the lines of caste, class,
Hmm.
history, politics, this kind of thing. Like people, like stuff that has actually impacted the lives of people in a
Hmm.
state where 200 people get killed in an election. I worry about things that I can do as a sociology
Hmm.
teacher or a student
Hmm.
uh, who can try to raise this issue more among people
Hmm.
among people who matter in the
Yeah.
world. So that is my main concern. Honestly, I have never studied too much gender. I frankly skipped that paper back in the day, back when I was a student, and I found this obsession with it very problematic. One thing I do acknowledge is I was a liberal feminist in the sense that I read Mill
Hmm.
and a bit of early feminist stuff where women should be allowed to work and stuff. Yes, I agree. Women should be allowed to work and वो जो equality opportunity, equality of opportunity.
Hmm. 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 Yeah.
Right. So that's
and
it.
and trans is just, of course, one of those flag posts of intersectionality. Even the other ones, how much do you take intersectionality seriously? How much respect do you have for it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I do not, like I said, I do not spend any time on thinking about all this, because firstly it does not, like, of course there, it comes up because it's such a big thing on social media now.
Hmm.
But here's the thing, like, it doesn't matter to most people in my surroundings.
Hmm.
And that's why I think that, I have never thought about it deeply enough to comment in a authoritative manner about this.
In that situation, a commie would argue that yes, it doesn't come up, or the people don't think about it much because they are so poor. So they are poor and lower caste and a woman, so facing oppression from their husband, oppression from the Brahmins, oppression from capitalists. Your life is thrice as fucked. Is life really thrice as fucked because of these things?
um l- you know like I said, of course the commies might say all that, and look at who these commies are, like those who are worried about gender dysphoria, and not gender dysphoria, ye log bolenge misgendering and all that. Look
Hmm.
at who they are. They are some of the most privileged people I know, and
Hmm.
and I have seen. It doesn't matter what they think about these issues. And frankly, if they are so worried about these things, why doesn't the CPIM put a more transgender people as Lok Sabha candidates? वो भी हिंदुत्ववादी भी कर रहा है, मतलब even the transgender person who is against Modi,
Hmm.
okay, in Varanasi
Hmm.
apparently, वो भी some extreme Hindu group is only putting them.
Hmm.
Okay, ये the CPIM should give some, instead they give some Bhattacharya these that वो ये same old tried and tested kind of troops of upper caste commies who are apparently very highly educated and all. They
Hmm.
don't give transgender people, they don't give they should ask third gender people to contest Lok Sabha elections on the CPIM ballot.
What about the person standing against Narendra Modi in Varanasi?
I, like I said, वो भी तो apparently extreme Hindu ही है. Although
Yeah.
frankly, I believe that these people are put up by Congress and others, uh, you know, uh, to kind of defame Hindutva in different ways, like to defame Modi. But it doesn't work. People, like I said, the good thing about people is they still vote for toilets.
Hmm.
उनको पता है कि मोदी ही टॉयलेट बनाएगा, ये सीपीएम भी टॉयलेट नहीं बनेगा, और ये जो ट्रांसजेंडर कैंडिडेट है फ्रॉम वाराणसी, ये भी टॉयलेट नहीं बनाएंगे.
Hmm.
सो
Okay.
इट वोंट इवन मैटर.
Kashyap is asking a great question here. That the transgender people who are not actually transgender, they are intersex. Transgender is absolutely different. Trans means just mentally something else.
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
So the intersex people we meet on the roads, do the gender studies people or the transgender studies people study them as well, or do research on them?
They will go to some jhoparpatti where these people live,
Hmm.
and they will just do like two ethnographies on them,
Hmm.
and they will say कि भाई बहुत research कर लिया, and then some people will take them very seriously in a university,
Hmm.
put them in a position of some chair professor or something, and they will give these same lectures. They will do 2 months of ethnography and claim to know everything about the lives of hijras and everything, and they
Hmm.
will do that. ये तो these are old tropes. ये qualitative academia is now very boring to me because of these things. Qualitative studies, ये क्या है?
Yeah.
तुम लोग 4 लोगों को इंटरव्यू करके पूरा रिसर्च थ्योरी बना रहे हो उसके ऊपर.
Hmm.
This is rubbish. There's no historical basis sometimes. ये क्या same person who's trying to figure out my identity क्या बोल रहा है कि क्या what about our old mythologies of gender dysphoria among gods? अरे भाई, तुमको इतना है तो तुम करो ना. I think that like I said, in my state people are still getting killed because they raise a different flag of a party.
Yeah.
They're literally killed, burnt to death, etc. I am more worried about those things. Okay.
And when sociologists or any gender studies people do research on these intersex people of the from the poor communities, uh, do they face those same sorts of things that you had once told me about interviewing prostitutes in North Calcutta? That it's the same 2-3 people getting interviewed by everyone year after year,
वही तो
and
होता
they know
है
what to
ये
say.
लोग, they call it snowball sampling.
Okay.
Basically, one person makes a contact, and then the same like 50 people who do their research, they go to that person, and the same person keeps repeating, "यार, I'm oppressed, I'm oppressed, I'm oppressed," and यही लोग छापते रहते हैं, and they know what to say to ethnography. They know what to say to people, and ये भी मतलब it's complete. It's a joke. It's a complete joke.
Do you know
Okay.
Sanjeev Sanyal in his book, short story book, in one
Yeah.
of the hilarious sarcastic short stories, he has actually wrote about this as well in a different way, that drivers, even taxi drivers, but mainly drivers of rich celebrities or politicians, and people who let's say drive around a foreigner guest, they know exactly what to say and who
Yeah. Yeah.
wants
Yeah.
to hear what.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
whenever they get the smell that okay, this person might feel some satisfaction if I tell them that my life is really fucked up, they will go overboard. Which
हाँ
is what
बोलेंगे.
you had actually said some time back, that a lot of caste research that happened during the 1800s, early 1900s might also be a result of this. There's always this cliched trope shown in movies, web series, even great web series, that okay, a person who is not really that rich, but such a person will after all be a man of honor. Honor is always intact among poor people and apparently non-white, non-Christian communities. Everyone has honor except rich white people. So they don't know that honored wala person is actually feeding him bullshit data that that the researcher actually wants to see anyway.
Precisely why I take at I depend more on election data and stuff like that to make my
Right.
conclusions about anything, or let's say actual historical events like people coming to power, people decreeing some things and all. ये सब real data है, on which you can base historical and contemporary understanding of any society. Otherwise, uh, the rest is this kind of fake. The qualitative research aspect is very overplayed in sociology and this kind of anthropology and all, and it's a joke. Like I said, yet like you said that the brown people knew exactly what to say to white people. हाँ, white people, I remember ये मुन्ना भाई में एक scene था ना कि one guy came and one Chinese tourist came and
या
he's like,
तुम
show
लोगों को
me.
और कुछ नहीं दिखता है.
हाँ,
Arshad
तुमको
Wasi
और
tells him.
दिखता है क्या? So that's the thing. It's always been like that. It's never, and sociology does that to a fault. Like sociology will take that and say, oh my god, everyone hates transgender people. Okay.
And the
In
way
India.
sociological research is done, would you say it's very that missionary patronizing sort of a way? Let me tell you a personal story here. About 1 or 2 years back, I was approached by someone from Presidency in College Street, Kolkata, but not from the sociology department. So she was helping out some NGO, even though she is not from sociology, about some research in Sundarbans. And for those of you who don't know, Sundarbans is also known as Ba-Deep, because Dweep means island, and it's shaped in the letter Ba in Bengali. So it's a delta, essentially. So there I saw that, and I was fresh from reading India, that is Bharat back then. So I found that everything they were doing was like a missionary approaching an outsider community. Their idea is to go and tell the people in Sundarbans that you are oppressed. The basic research was that apparently they have gone around and did a survey, and most people in Sundarbans don't know that their island is shaped like a bow, and they don't know why their island is called Bodip. And they found that it's a travesty of justice that these people are so unaware, and maybe because of that their life is absolutely fucked up. And so, in a hope to interconnect all these different islands of Sundarbans, they were going around asking these absolutely poor villagers in Sundarbans to record different sounds of nature from wherever. This sounds like a Sandeep Sanyal sarcastic story, but this is a real story.
Yeah.
So I hope she doesn't see this live stream ever, man. I don't want to disrespect you, dear friend, but this is what she
This
is.
is
She is a
I
friend.
stopped having friends in academia. This is precisely the reason. I laugh at most of the research. It's
So
sad. Anyway,
so they will record different nature sounds from all the islands, and then the audios. I was asked to do the mixing of that audio, and everyone, and I was going to be even paid for it. I just said I did not have time at the moment. But then everyone else is going to listen to what the other person from the other island recorded, okay, and that is going to bring those communities together, and that is going to improve their lives, and they are also going to figure out what is body. They did all of this instead of setting up factories, business models in Sundarbans. And they also
or
told
or
Sundarbans people that, see, you don't know you are oppressed, I know you are oppressed, and here's why. And
yeah,
therefore listen to me.
and utna khat liya to they should have just gone to Morijapi and nearby the
Kumir Mari.
Mari, and
Yeah.
I think the other places where some survivors of Morijapi are there, and actually ask them what
Yeah,
oppression
and check
looks
out
like.
why this sounds exactly like missionary conversion. That their next step was that in the next phase of that research, they will be asked to come to Kolkata and display their sounds of the nature and rivers and crows of Sundarbans.
And 10 people in Academy of Fine Arts will clap loudly,
Yes, and therefore they will
and
show that, see, we are on your side. Become like us. Become commie academics and
मतलब ये
come.
लोग वो लोकल ट्रेन में गर्मी में आएंगे, फिर यहाँ पे साउंड सुनाएंगे, इनको पैकेट देंगे अंडा और क्या वो ये वाला, और ये खुद जो किया है द रिसर्च पीपल, they will use this thing and call it what ground level ethnography and some crap like that, and
Yeah, yeah.
they will credit their papers to these people. माने primary author will be the main person in the research. इनको secondary tertiary author बना देंगे, as if getting authorship in a paper makes you improves your life in the world. And ये लोग फिर ये सब sound on record करके they'll show it to white people, and
Yeah.
white people say, "Oh my God!" And they will feed them champagne dinners
This
in
is
the in
this
New
is
York.
this is almost verbatim the
Yeah,
screenplay, the script of Sanjeev Sanyal's titular story, Life Over
I
Two Beers.
precisely, and the when I was myself describing it, I was going to say that sounds totally like Sanjeev ji's thing, that story.
Yeah.
Precisely, and this is what happens.
And
I know people who are in Europe, in big positions, postdoctoral fellows. ये मतलब यूरोज में कमा रहा है लाखों रुपया in a month,
yeah.
and their main thing is they went to a few slums here and did some research on 10 hijras and
Yeah.
recorded their sounds and took it to Europe.
Yeah.
ये
And
लोग यही आएंगे, वापस आएंगे, इनका क्या 2 लाख का गुची बैग लेके, and फिर they will say they will you know what they'll do. They will do something that maybe you or I won't do that much. They will sit with them in public and eat with them. They will hug them, okay, and you will think, अरे Zurich और कहाँ से आ रहा है, जर्मनी फ्रांस से आके these people लाखों रुपया का बैग लेके घड़ी लेके they are hugging a hijra in public. So great person. This is all the self masturbation, man. You might as well put your picture on the wall and look at it and whatever. That's what this is. That's what this ethnographic research is all about.
And this shows that a lot of there are countless reasons for conversions in different places in different contexts, but this is one of the ways that conversions were done, with this absolutely insane way of telling people that you are oppressed and I'm here to help.
Yeah, and I'm getting euros for it.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is a joke. Like I told you, there's a reason. Like social sciences, ko nobody. Why do you think arts में कोई वो नहीं होता? Like you have a cutoff for science, you have a cutoff for commerce. Arts में cutoff क्यों नहीं होता?
The year I was getting into college, the seats of even JU philosophy were not filling up. People were getting into philosophy half at the end of the year even.
You think of a thing ना कि अमेरिका में जो immigrants जाते हैं, first generation immigrants and all, even the guys and girls who are clever enough to go to college, माँ बाप को जाके बोलेंगे after escaping from El Salvador, they will go and tell their parents, mom, dad, I want to study liberal arts, मुझे पैसा दो, college loan लो.
Well,
बोलेंगे
actually,
एक चाटा मारेंगे, वापस भेज देंगे कहीं. हाँ.
You see, even that is not uniform for all illegal immigrants or recent poor immigrants, because one community has figured out the cheat code. Why do you see so many
Latinos,
Palestinian
Latinos.
people in Western academia?
Indian.
No, Palestinian people.
Palace, वो तो. So it's always about duping. It's always about duping white people, ना.
Yes.
यार तुमको एक्सोटिसाइज करना पड़ेगा खुद को. यू टेल देम आई
Yeah.
एम डांसिंग उगा बुगा, यू पे मी मनी. यू
Yeah.
जस्ट डू इट इन अ, you just do it in English. That's
Yeah.
the whole thing. We've been doing that for a very long time.
Yeah.
These are just top tier uga buga people. They are not, they're not the lower orders. ये लोग
Tier
lower
one
order
uga.
को हक करेंगे and फिर वो उसका पिक्चर लेंगे and they say what solidarity with Palestine, solidarity with LGBTQ etc. करके वो स्वीडन जाके वो दिखाएंगे पिक्चर सबको. white people will, oh my god, so beautiful, and they will fund these people. It's all this is
Okay, today morning when I woke up, I saw another thing on Twitter that's literally from the pages of Sandeep Sanyal's short story. Okay, one white girl in USA put on that Palestinian keseya, that scarf, keseya,
ये cultural appropriation नहीं हो गया?
Yeah, and said that, see, now in support of Palestine, and that is exactly what Sandeep Sanyal wrote in that story we read. That's literally that story.
वही तो. And this is what humanities is, and this is where this conversation has its logical direction here. The conversation we are having with Dr. Babun is that arts should be defunded for a reason. Our reasoning is this, or defunded or make you're paying 30 lakhs to a student for over a span of 5 years. Per year you are paying almost 6 lakhs. Then make them do work, make them do actual work for this. I have heard of people who actually didn't even go to their field sites and said that हाँ আমি गेची করে 4 लोगों को फोन पे बात कर लिया, ये सब बना के दे रहे हैं. Seriously, I'm not even joking. There should be some kind of audit of this.
Yeah, accountability and audit can solve a lot of this.
Yeah. Half of sociology PhDs will get rejected if there's a proper auditing of funds.
Okay, the next super chat is asking, is there infertility in Bangladeshi and Bengali Muslims due to consanguineous marriages?
ये मैं कैसा आंसर करूं भाई? I don't know, but Bangladesh has a very low fertility rate, replacement rate, like 1.6, right? I think that was it, 1.6. So I have no idea.
Probably because of this. And one day I was, for some other context, checking out the
Most
most
of them are working in sweatshops anyway, so I don't know if they have if the health and stuff are getting impacted.
Bangladesh, I think, has a very, very significant poverty and nutrition problem, because their obesity is even extremely low. Like they are eating meat all day, but absolutely zero obesity. How can that happen?
No, that can happen. Meat all day कौन खा रहा है? I think the Ashrafs are having meat.
What are the Pasmandas eating?
The Pasmandas इतना मीट कहाँ से खाएंगे भाई? I don't know. I have no idea about what village people in Bangladesh eat. But fact is that they are mostly working in sweatshops all day, or agricultural sector में काम करते हैं in very grueling conditions, and the wealth gap is really high in Bangladesh. And there's nothing to be done about it. Like Bangladesh is one of the worst possible economic models anyone can have.
And the people who say that Bangladesh's GDP is growing faster than India have absolutely no clue of Bangladesh.
अरे यही लोग बोलेंगे, नहीं, इनका बात अलग है. When India's GDP grows, they will say that यार GDP growth सब कुछ नहीं होता है. Human development
growth, non-inclusive growth
होगा. अबे बांग्लादेश में जाके बोलना, बांग्लादेश के बारे में तुम यूज GDP. ये गोल पोस्ट शिफ्ट करते करते इनका कोई मतलब, ये खुद का घर में ना जाके पड़ोसी का घर में जाएंगे एक दिन, पड़ोसी का बाप को बाप बोलेंगे.
Yeah, they are absolutely clueless about Bangladesh's politics or society, because okay, if it comes from a non-Bengali, then I have some sympathy at least for the person. But when Bengalis say it, I get very surprised, because they don't know anything about Bangladesh other than art cell, Warfaze, and probably Dhaka University girls putting up nice holy pictures. But the the insane wealth inequality of Bangladesh has forever been a problem when we were growing up and even now. Because you see, such a poor country like Bangladesh, how can they afford to listen to rock music and have rock bands and own the best American guitars when we are growing up in the 90s of West Bengal, and even the pro bands of Kolkata are using 4,000, 5,000 rupees worth of Grasson and Gibson guitars? How does that happen without a gigantic smuggling business in Bangladesh and wealth
And again,
inequality?
like I said, wealth gap बहुत ज़्यादा है ना.
Insane wealth gap.
So the guys who are playing guitar in Bangladesh, imported guitars,
All
they
from
can
smuggling
afford.
families, all from crime families.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
number one, number two fact is that okay, Bangladesh is developed. तुम खुद को नौकरी कर रहे हो महाराष्ट्र, गुजरात में, तमिलनाडु में, केरला में, जो भी हो. Kerala is not that developed, to be very honest. You know, Hyderabad and all. You're working there. Your Bangladeshi neighbors are rich. Why are you poor?
Kiran is saying Bangladesh has the lowest meat consumption per capita. This is insane.
हाँ, मैं भी तो वही बोल रहा हूँ ना. I'm pretty sure the poor people don't get that much protein and all. And I'm pretty
Interesting.
sure they have a ton of kids, but infant mortality के लिए fertility rate उतना ज़्यादा नहीं है. Like even if they have 10 kids, if many of them die, the fertility rate is still 1.6 or something.
Okay,
Which is
A is
below-
asking, why are you dark skinned? This reminds me of the question, why are you gay?
Why are you dark skinned? ये कहाँ से आ रहा है भाई?
That
Your chat is crazy.
my chat is wild today. Salvatore
Yeah.
Babon has unleashed a lot of venomous things on my chat.
Yeah.
And wait, some interesting question
कहाँ
has
से
come.
आते हैं ये लोग? हाँ.
So anyone who is rich today in Bangladesh for more than one generation, you have to be 99% sure they are from a crime family.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. Meat doesn't mean healthy. No, but at least it might mean obesity. Low nutrition doesn't matter. Oh, by the way, low per capita meat consumption se yaad aaya. Do you know, Mr. Sociologist, that Israel has the highest per capita vegans in the world? Because they have actually been convinced that what we are doing to animals is similar to the Holocaust.
Okay.
Israel has the strongest animal rights
But
views among people.
Israel is very interesting because Israel has, I think Jews have in Israel a 3 point something fertility rate, which is above average, well above replacement. This
Yeah.
is like I have huge respect for that. Because एक चीज तो सही उन्होंने निकाला है इब्राहिमिक्स ने कि भाई population will win you wars. All kinds of wars in the future, whether you like it or not. This is the one thing that
Yeah,
is
go on.
weird among bongs.
Yeah.
Huh.
Avinav is pointing out a great point, which actually Salvatore Babon has also made a brilliant point about that. That even take the organized sector, no, the entire ready-made garment manufacturing is concentrated within a group of like 10, 12 families in Bangladesh. And which is why I was saying that we don't need to take that route in India.
No, precisely. Slave owner society. No. By
Absolutely.
sweatshop is basically slavery, na. उनका जो shops है, basically slaves है उनमें.
And
don't have
Pakistan
any-
to officially a
I
slave
would
owner
urge
society.
the CPIM to go and campaign for labor laws in Bangladesh.
And तो even their not commie, atheist bloggers get hacked to death. So commie क्या करेंगे?
हाँ.
And Pakistan is officially, even legally, they are a slave owning society.
Yeah, but commies are globalists, na. So they should
Yeah.
forget borders and cross over and tell sweatshop owners to stop harassing little babies in sweatshops.
Yeah.
So they
Ankit
should do
Chatterjee is asking your favorite question. Please talk about the prospects of BJP in the upcoming Lok Sabha elections.
Okay, very interesting development. I think the TMC candidate against Rekha Patro in Boshirat is dropping out because of health issues. My prediction still stands 26 plus, almost 30 if things go right. Bas yahi, we did a detailed discussion seat by seat. And people are geared up for change. People are gearing up for change. is way worse than when the CPIM left, like for the TMC. Like जब CPIM को लोगों ने vote out किया था ना,
Hmm.
there was like people were abusing CPIM left right. माने
Hmm.
बुद्धू बाबू could fart in the wrong way and people would go against him.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
और फिर भी interestingly they got 41% of the vote.
Hmm.
TMC and Congress मिलके 42% था.
Hmm.
And the difference between votes was almost just 10 lakhs, which is
Hmm.
nothing.
Yeah.
A state like West Bengal. So, but that means that even at its worst, CPIM did get quite a bit of votes.
Hmm.
But Choti is now basically she is dependent completely on Muslim votes, nothing else. So
Hmm.
let's see how that goes. But that will win you at most 8 or 9 with Lok Sabhas,
Hmm.
where there is overwhelming majority.
Hmm.
So what even like previous elections has happened is that um, places with higher Muslim concentration but below 20% or around 25% or so, there BJP has performed surprisingly well, because surprisingly nahi, because the polarization has happened clearly.
Hmm.
So देखते हैं क्या होता है.
Okay, before we take Kashyap's question, we'll look at Amish Poddar's question. Bro, I have a question. Do you guys think this transgenderism, gender surgery is backed by a group of scientists so they can get free specimen for future biohuman modifications? I might be crazy. Or at least if you make a movie on that, let me do the background score. That sounds like a great movie plot.
I firstly, all of you will get cancelled or killed. I don't know. I'm not involved in this project. Please, people, forgive me.
Hmm.
But I don't want to comment on that, precisely because this is, I think a lot of
Hmm.
things. For example, that I'm pretty sure that people were stealing body parts during COVID in West Bengal hospitals
Hmm.
and all that. I think, but I'm scared to say it because आजकल तो लोग, if you voice a concern, people will say यार ये लोग क्या बोलते हैं उसको, conspiracy theory कर रहे हैं.
Yeah, and these sorts of things are usually enough to get your channel disappear from the face of the earth.
Yeah, precisely. So I don't want to comment on that. I appreciate the question,
Hmm.
and it's just forget it.
But do make a movie on that and hire me for the background music. This is the kind of music I would like to do. Okay, so now Kashyap's question: Who is worse, CPIM or TMC? Is there any non-commie party in Vanga?
CPIM way worse, because I'll tell you why. Um, it's all hidden with them. They act like TMC is very cool in some ways. Like you pay them, their netas will do mujra at your house. It doesn't matter. You pay them enough. You need something, pay them, you'll get it. I know that sounds horrible, that sounds very corrupt, and yeah, if white people hear it they'll have faint. Okay, but the point is that uh, in West Bengal, what I saw is this: the TMC has its allegiances and its all its corruption out in the open. The CPIM was very, because it's so upper caste and bhadralok and very appropriately dressed for the occasion all the time. They did all of this stuff in different ways, but they kept it under wraps. So way worse, way worse. And frankly, जो BJP है, if the CPIM was all powerful here properly, the BJP would never be able to kick out this CPM if Buddha Babu industrialized the state.
Hmm.
That is my other theory. If the CPIM was able to kick out Mamata effectively and keep the industries in West Bengal and whatever they did, then I don't think BJP would have come here for the next 30 years. It's only because Mamata is, well, I don't want to comment too much, but because they are not serious enough, the TMC, that the BJP will come to power quite soon.
Okay, Ankit Chatterjee is asking again something up your wheelhouse. How different do you think will be the BJP government if they come to power in Bengal in 2026 assembly? Actual industrialization, more jobs, more security?
They will come this year itself, in 2024 itself. My point is that हाँ, सिक्योरिटी बेटर होगा, तुम्हारा इंडस्ट्री, yeah, these are given. Like बीजेपी को बोलते ही है बिजली सड़क पानी
Hmm.
पार्टी. Wherever BJP is, a basic three things you will get: infrastructure, infrastructure, infrastructure. Bijli, sadak, pani milega. You have 1,000 schemes that Modi ji has for poor people, which has uplifted the poor. वो है, which have, which I have some problems with, but you can't fight against it, so करेंगे. So all this, at least basically, uh, somewhere there will be a lack of negativity. Now West Bengal is full of complete negativity. Like there is nothing. Like today, a Bengali young person even in Calcutta, which has the most amount of resources in the state, um, ye, these people they don't have any faith in the future of West Bengal. First thing they think is how to run away from this place. It's like a cannibalistic island right there at this point.
What do you think of that famous argument that running away from the state or having a low-paying job is still better than BJP coming and Muslims dying? BJP coming
that
to power.
only rich people and privileged people say. तुम आजकल जो भी बोल रहे हो, तुम भाई privileged कॉमी के नजरिए से बोल रहे हो.
What other kind of commie there is?
That's true. There are झंडा कॉमीज, मतलब जो झंडा. So there's this joke when a tribal guy was marching, like when the CPM came to power, tribal बहुत लोग CPM के supporter हो गए थे. And a guy asked, "Kire, थोड़ा communist होएगा जी? You guys have become communist now." And tribal said, "What communist? I'm CPM." Okay. So they don't know what communism is,
Yeah.
and they don't want to know. Frankly, if I explained historical materialism and communism to them, they'd reject it. I think.
Yeah.
They'd say, क्या joke बोल रहे हो भाई?
Yeah.
और अच्छा joke है और बता. WhatsApp University, ये लोग हमको ही बोलते. So.
This is what my Naxal sympathizing political science teacher in class 12 in my school used to say that, yeah, see, the middle class will never be able to give you theories. How will you solve the society without theories? তত্ত্ব দিতে পারবে না middle class. So therefore, the poor CPIM supporter who is going around marching, his arguments are not important because he will have the standard arguments that sarkar ko kuch karna chahiye, which most BJP ground people also
Everyone
make.
says that. Yeah, everyone says that.
Yeah.
The difference is BJP doesn't go around killing people after that. सरकार को कुछ करना चाहिए, इसको मार दो. सरकार को इंडस्ट्री करना चाहिए, kill farmers. सरकार को कुछ इकोलॉजी बचाना चाहिए, kill people in Morichapi. सरकार को कुछ करना चाहिए, kill random TMC worker. Okay.
Yeah.
Or save them something.
But they did try to help ecology by feeding the people in Morichapi to tigers and crocodiles.
Yeah.
Does Bangladesh pose a serious demographic threat to India?
I don't know that. Like, it depends on how we protect our borders and stuff. It will, like, a large part of that is that, honestly, and nothing more. Look at how Assam is handling the issue. You'll get your answer. Let's see how that goes.
By the way, that CPIM leader who says that আমি তো মহাভারত পড়া কমিউনিস্ট, আমি সব পড়েছি, he has read all Hindu texts.
Tanmay.
Yeah, Tanmay. Did you see his pictures campaigning with the Trinamool actress candidate not Kaushani, some other thing? Some other
I
name.
saw that they had all gone to the namaz and all.
No, CPIM Tanmay Bhattacharjee officially met with something Mitro or some Tollywood actress, multi-time actress, not top tier actress, but she was the one who was feeling some grievance for not getting the ticket. Then she got the ticket.
Oh, Shayantika.
Right. Tanmay Bhattacharjee went to campaign for Shayantika. Today.
नहीं, वो तो उनका alliance है. The left is all allied against BJP completely. अभी भी CPIML took out this thing 2 days ago. उनका जो manifesto है CPIML, which is a joke in itself, but it's a problem because they are violent people. So they took out a manifesto, no vote to BJP. No vote to BJP मतलब क्या है? Vote for TMC.
Yeah.
Basically, it's always been like that.
Yeah. Indian Political TV is asking, is BJP going to lose in Dum Dum because of CPIM?
Possible.
Or to CPIM?
No, to CPIM नहीं होगा.
Okay.
Because of CPIM हो सकता.
Okay.
Possible.
Is Hyderabad way ahead of Kolkata despite being landlocked state?
हाँ, एकदम. क्या बोल रहा है ये? Of course, Of course it is.
Meaning
Do you,
how? I think he
have you
meant
guys
that
ever, have
how.
you guys seen any mainstream pop artist, rock artist say, I'm coming to Kolkata in the next few months?
Hmm.
Everyone says Hyderabad, Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai. ये चार बोलते हैं.
Uh, all the
And
famous,
maybe Gujarat. I don't know. Maybe I'm Ahmedabad
yeah,
or something.
all the I started listening to rock music in about 2003 2004. I
Yeah.
started listening to metal in 2006, and since then all metal bands, international rock bands started coming to India, starting with Iron Maiden in 2008. They
Hmm.
came to Mumbai, and since then we were waiting for some bands to come to Kolkata, some bands to come to Kolkata, some
आयरन
bands to
मेडन
come.
को तुम लाओगे कलकत्ता, खिलाओगे क्या? तेले बजा चॉप.
So
আয়রন মেডেন টিকিট কেনার পয়সা কে দেবে?
yeah, and we used to
500 টাকা,
wonder.
200 টাকা টিকিট. ওই ওটা কি হবে? 500 টাকার টিকিট করবে, 500 rupee tickets. They will sell the same ticket to 3 people. That's how KK died in Calcutta. एक टिकट 3 जन को बेच दिया. यही तो, this is Calcutta. क्या?
This see,
What?
we are so
Why?
pro environment. We
Iron
recycle
Maiden will
tickets.
go back in an Iron Maiden. The whole band will die of suffocation because AC का बिल कोई नहीं भरेगा, AC खराब हो जाएगा, मर जाएंगे ऐसे.
Yeah, we recycled the tickets of KK.
Yeah.
And so actually that problem persists even today. You reminded me a great point. But we used to always ask around, we used to wonder why aren't any bands coming to Kolkata? ऐसा क्या है भोसरी के बेंगलुरु और मुंबई में? Everyone is coming to Bengaluru and Mumbai. What the fuck?
पैसा है ना उनके पास, पैसा
Yeah.
है.
So then I actually asked around to some people, and they said the entertainment tax, bro, the taxes you all have, we can't fucking afford that. No organization can afford that. Then in 2011, Mamta Banerjee, our Lord and Savior, came to power and had to decrease the entertainment tax because Shah Rukh Khan told her to do so because of KKR. Otherwise, KKR was also
फिर भी
about to
कोई
not
नहीं
happen.
आएगा, फिर भी ये लोग नहीं आएंगे. I can
No,
guarantee you.
no.
In
Therefore,
IT,
since 2011, some bands started coming. NH7 Kolkata started happening. You see, but interestingly, for about the last 4-5 years, NH7 Kolkata has stopped having the biggest bands. Okay, now NH7 Kolkata is free entry because they realized no one can afford tickets in
वही तो
Kolkata
मैं बोल
anyway.
रहा हूँ. और फ्री नहीं करेंगे तो मतलब लोग आएंगे,
Yeah.
people will come. But वही एक टिकट 3 जन को बेचेंगे, वो it's all rubbish.
Arey
Calcutta
Shekhar,
is
look at my hands. They are here or on my face. Where? How am I deleting comments? Click on newest chats or something, or refresh, or if you gave gali or posted a link, they don't remain visible. It's not my fault.
Don't give yourself too much attention, Shekhar.
Yeah. And
Just joking.
and there was the forever habit of Bengali people to watch shit for free. That pass jogar kore de. No, Metallica is coming and they are saying pass jogar kore de.
Fast sugar kor.
So that is another reason why NH7 even died. The NH7 for the first time when it happened in Kolkata, I saw Textures, a legendary progressive metal band from Netherlands. I watched Megadeth in Kolkata in Textures at NH7. I watched Mute Math. Then after that, NH7 stopped doing all that in Kolkata. They shifted their core Eastern India project to Shillong. And then
Shillong.
Steven Wilson came to Shillong.
Shillong is again logical, right? Like
Yeah.
look at it. Shillong is a northeastern state with like, but देखो tourism का पैसा है वहाँ पे.
Yeah,
Number one.
Yeah, of course.
Number two is a bunch of people actually would travel to Shillong. यार तुमको कितने लोग बोलेंगे मैं दिल्ली से यहाँ आ रहा हूँ कलकत्ता में to enjoy a vacation. We
Or
have
to watch
so
Megadeth.
much. What?
Or to watch Megadeth.
Huh. They would go to Shillong for precisely that, right? Even if you have a ton of money and you want to spend it on Megadeth and you want to also enjoy the scenery of Shillong and everything, you go. We forgot to market. Like यार पैसा ही नहीं है तो marketing वगैरह सब छोड़ो ना.
Now you won't believe what happened when Steven Wilson came to Shillong in 2016. Listen to this convoluted Bengali pride argument. Even Fossils performed in Shillong NH7 in that 2016 edition, okay? And since everyone in Kolkata, every rock fan in Kolkata by then had already heard Steven Wilson, all of them were fans. So all of them decided that we are going to listen to Steven Wilson in Shillong. So what ended up happening is, in Shillong, where nobody understands Bengali, Fossils was performing in front of 5,000 Bengalis. And entire Shillong crowd singing each and every Fossils song in Bengali. So they decided, they concluded that this is the show of real Bengali strength. And instead of noticing that, okay, why couldn't Steven Wilson perform with fossils in Kolkata? It's happening in Shillong. But the victory is of Bengalis that we went there to sing Bengali songs in front of Steven Wilson.
No, bongs have. If you can say that, I should be proud because Rabindranath Tagore won a Nobel Prize in 1913, I think. Yeah. So then you can be proud of bongs wasting money and going to Shillong. Not wasting money, but taking money and taking a flight to Shillong to watch a band.
Hmm.
So yeah, और वैसे भी remember one thing. I'm pretty sure a bunch of bongs are already there because there are no jobs in Calcutta.
Shillong has a significant Bengali population.
Yeah, जहाँ पे jobs नहीं है ना, तो कुछ लोग तो वही होंगे ना. 5,000 जो बोल रहे हो,
Hmm.
maybe that's 2,000 or so who have gone from here.
Yeah.
And 3,500 तो वैसे ही jobs के लिए नॉर्थ ईस्ट में भटक रहे हैं ना.
Yeah. But
भटक नहीं रहे, actual getting jobs compared to Calcutta.
But Shillong is not a very good host to outsiders. Everyone was trying to rip us off. Each and every hotel or taxi driver we met. I've never been to such a place.
वो तो करेंगे ही वो.
What very weird place.
बंगाली प्राइड लेके गौरवों को लेके जाओ शिलोंग.
I have never heard anyone complain about these things in North Bengal. So it's not a race thing that they hated us simply for being Bengalis or something. No one has complained about these things in
I
Darjeeling,
think they have
Kalimpong.
figured out Bengalis that Bengalis have lower IQ. They have figured out after seeing us quite a bit. वो भी हो सकता है. That's why they tried to scam you. जो भी हो.
What is Finn saying? আরে ধুর বাড়া এইসব কিছুতেই রবীন্দ্রনাথ কেন? কত লোক নোবেল পায় তাতে কি? না, yeah. That is also his point as well.
Yeah, precisely. আচ্ছা, this guy আমাদের Amish Poddar, who has been trying to figure out my identity. If you guys don't know, Deepankar Bhattacharya, CPIML 2021 held meetings with TMC leaders and then convinced Congress not to bring Rahul Gandhi during Bengal election. This guy is a problem. He's right. He's quite right. This guy is a big, problem.
I see. Wait.
The no vote to BJP thing was their idea only, na?
Yeah, it would seem so. They have the brains to do those sorts of cunning things, I think. Where real academic opposition lies. CPIM's good at that. But they can't do anything other than academic
No,
opposition these days. So.
their brain works really well when it comes to opposing Hindus. Like, they will figure out some random way to destroy you just because you're a Hindu. ये तो बहुत, मतलब, ये you have to give, like, they are a worthy enemy if you think about it.
S. Chakraborty is asking, why is BJP calling political parties from 23 countries to observe and oversee elections in India? Is this true?
Yes, it is true. And I think this is a good practice, I believe, because it's, what it is. I think अभी इतना confidence है हम में कि we can show off our democracy. We can show off. ये बेमोनिस जो बोल रहा था ना, like, जो भी हो डेमोक्रेसी की वजह से बम्बू हो रहा है वो भी ठीक है, but डेमोक्रेसी तो है.
It's going to give us long-term benefits in terms of even let's say discourse, etc.
When you can show off your democracy of 140 crores, then I think that's a good point.
Why? Yeah, go on.
क्या बोल रहे हो? मतलब this is where I think Modi is a marketing expert. Modi or his team, whatever it is. It's the marketing is so important, which is lacking sorely in the rest of the BJP and Sangh in many ways.
Yeah, very, very much.
Yeah.
What do you think of naming universities with Hindu terms? Does that affect the image in some way, like Rashtraam University, Rishihud University, whereas actual Islamic terrorist parties are naming their movement People's Front of India?
No, that again setback hota hai na, because you tell me one thing, forget Jamia Millia and the other places. Don't you think that somebody would send their children to a place like a place named क्या बोलते हैं उस Ashoka University compared to a place like Rishihud or जो भी हो, I mean,
Yeah.
this is a branding issue, right? Like Geo University, I've heard. हाँ, ये क्या है? Why?
Oh my god.
यार जियो और कोई नाम नहीं मिला भाई, धीरू भाई अंबानी मेमोरियल कॉलेज बना दो ना, वो भी ठीक है.
Yeah. The school works fine.
Yeah, what
Uh,
the hell? Like there's a branding issue. I know that शिक्षाश्री यूनिवर्सिटी गौरव, ये बांग्ला पक्षों का आदमी है, इनको पीटो कमेंट सेक्शन में. So so that's the thing. Like it's a joke. Like Hindutva people, they don't know branding yet at all.
yeah, rishihood just sounds weird also because is the claim therefore implicitly that you come out of the university as a rishi, as intelligent as a rishi? What is the claim here?
यार, यही तो मतलब. Anyway, let's move on to something else now. ये
Sanjukta
depression
Roy
में.
is saying Meghalaya tribals are anti-Bengali, though there is a significant Bengali population in Shillong, right? Tribals have become very money-minded. There aren't much jobs other than government, hence they rip off tourists. I see, but that is the case in Kalimpong, Darjeeling as well. But there, I don't think any tourist has ever complained about such things as harshly as I am complaining about Shillong. They will never say those things about Darjeeling, Kalimpong.
अरे दार्जिलिंग वाले, see, remember one thumb rule about West Bengal. The Muslims of West Bengal aren't real Muslims. The Hindus of West Bengal aren't real Hindus. The tribals of West Bengal aren't real tribals. The hill people of West Bengal aren't real hill people. Okay, so forget that. ये मेरा thumb rule है of analyzing West Bengal. यहाँ पे कोई किसी का commitment ठीक ठाक नहीं है. If they racism भी यहाँ पे वो tribal लोग ठीक से नहीं कर सकते. यार तुम सोचो ना, 30% almost we have of Muslim population. फिर भी Kerala has the highest number of exports to ISIS. Okay. Highest number of people joined from Kerala. Why? Because Kerala people are dedicated, man. Here,
Look at
Muslim think mom joining TMC is their greatest
yeah,
life's greatest goal.
yeah.
So, यहाँ पे even Muslims and Christians are not, they're not genuine. Look at Syrian Christians. Look at Arundhati Roy. एकदम dedicated to destroying Hindus. But look at यहाँ के Christians, you rise. Forget it. I don't want to comment too much on that. Anyway, मतलब basically nobody is real in West Bengal.
Okay.
पैसा ही नहीं है ना, पैसा नहीं होगा तो ideology नहीं होगा.
Evidence, evidence and empirical evidence and experiential identity. So
Precisely.
if your empirical evidence around you is that you have no money to propagate your ideology or identity, change your identity and ideology.
Exactly.
Look at
Bhagwan's telling Vishwavidyalaya.
Yeah, look at the suggestions. Education, Moksha University, Nirvana University, Bhagwan Stalin Vishwavidyalaya. Many more.
Gustache Gyan.
Bhagwai Pak University, Maulana Sheikh Shahjahan University,
Sheikh Shahjahan University would be good.
Khela Habe University.
Khela.
And this time already Mamata Banerjee has declared that Khela Habe.
Bhaipo Vishwavidyalaya.
Bhaipu. Okay, Nina
I
is
had
asking.
once written somewhere that I had once read somewhere that people of Bengal, what's the corruption in Bengal called? It's called Bhaipo suction. Anyway, so
We had that failed Amartya Sen project of reviving Nalanda. In what way do you think Nalanda will be revived? Even that place is of archaeological significance. So you can just name any random university in Nalanda. You can't do anything more than that.
Nalanda ko revive karna should have been a much different kind of an affair. Like again, same old problem. They gave a guy like Amartya Sen who's highly corrupt. Vaise, I think Abdul Kalam had written a letter against him. Okay. Against Amartya Sen, by the way. There's a letter. There's a public letter.
Fuck.
Yeah. Public ho ya matlab that came out. Either way, Abdul Kalam had commented that Amartya Sen is he's appropriating resources and something like that. So jo bhi ho, this thing Nalanda University was completely messed up by Sen because he ऐसे subjects introduced किया. If you go to the website, which are kind of useless subjects, ये liberal arts program बनाया दिया.
I see.
Now again, my thing was that Nalanda जो like 1200s 1300s में जो Nalanda था, Now you should move on and make it like a full-fledged technical university with like proper access to some of the best resources and labs and stuff, right? Like a ISC Bangalore or something like that.
Yeah, because the goal should be to capture the real essence of the ancient Nalanda. The ancient Nalanda was the sought after thing in the entire world. Now we have to make a similar university which will be sought after in the entire world. उससे
Yeah, yeah,
अलावा
yeah,
क्या
yeah.
करना है नालंदा में?
नहीं, 800 year old legacy है, वो है the 2000 year old legacy, wonderful, I don't
Hmm.
mind. I have nothing to mind, but the point is that यार वो brand को लेके तुम क्या कर रहे हो?
Hmm.
You are misappropriating resources, you are putting bullshit subjects that nobody wants to study and all, or very very privileged class people study,
Hmm.
जो जिसका कोई impact नहीं है देश में. You could make it another IIT. You
Hmm.
could make it better than IITs,
Hmm.
but you're not doing that. और
Uh,
ये सब कांग्रेस के टाइम में हुआ. So anyway, it's not like it's a
hmm.
anything. The Congress built some central university in the middle of nowhere. Like Congress, what the Congress did? Congress took a shit on India
Hmm.
and then told its followers to keep saying that this is like manure and it will, make India fertile.
Hmm.
This is what Congress did for 70 years,
If
and
you have some, yeah, yeah, go on.
there is no exception. Yeah,
If you have some time, then we can take Ankit Chatterjee's question here.
yeah, yeah. Maybe 10-15 minutes more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will women vote still be with Mamata Banerjee after she declared various schemes favoring women like increasing Lokhi Bhandar? Or will it shift significantly toward BJP after Sandesh Khali incident?
Oh, see, some women definitely will not like Sandesh Khali. That's a given. With regards to the 500 rupees, 1000 rupees rubbish, वो बीजेपी ने बढ़ा के 3000 कर दिया है.
कर
So
दिया है
बीजेपी
और कर देगा.
कर देंगे. Like
Right,
they
right.
said that if we come to power, $3000
Hmm.
off the bat.
Hmm.
So if money is what attracts them, then they know that BJP will deliver. And see, people of West Bengal know one thing, that यार Modi पैसा देता है. Okay,
Hmm.
that much is an established fact, that Modi gives money when they need it, when they promise something, and that's because Modi has delivered in the past
Hmm.
very well.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel that the 3000 rupees thing will work. Number one.
Hmm.
Number two is women voters are also slowly. So the narrative is now completely against the TMC. You know what? Whoever put the money on Partho's bed and took a huge picture of the 100 crore or 50 crore rupees, that person was a genius. Nothing motivates West Bengal people as much as hatred for your neighbor. एंड ये लोग नेबरहुड में देख रहे हैं टीएमसी का नेता 2 किलो का चेन सोने का चेन पहन के घूम रहा है एंड ऑल एंड ऑडी गाड़ी लेके घूम रहा है. सो दे हैव अ डिग्री ऑफ हेट्रेड अगेंस्ट द टीएमसी.
Here to
एंड
learn is saying competitive bhatabazi.
yeah, precisely. And honestly, I was always against these kind of schemes where you just give money to poor people and they don't do anything about it and all that. But yeah, West Bengal mein power, like I said, it's all justified away. You come to power, you can debate about ideology. Without coming to power, you're just a dead body at this point.
Abhijit Banerjee was in favor of giving money to boost the economy after COVID.
हाँ, वो तो उनका वो अरे एक डेमोक्रेट माल था ना, एंड्रू यांग.
Yeah.
उनका वो
Universal
चल
basic
रहा है,
income.
यूनिवर्सल बेसिक इनकम का लोचा चल रहा है. तो
Hmm.
some of my friends, one of my more sensible friends said one thing, that you think UBI, if any governments are now, I was really convinced at one point, like Andrew Yang made an interesting argument. I have to give it to the guy.
Hmm.
So I was like, it sounds like a nice idea. Okay. And I'm half socialist anyway, because of whatever reason. Anyway. So ये मेरा मुझ में वो दीनदयाल उपाध्याय का आत्मा है थोड़ा सा. So half socialism तो है ही. Except I don't want to kill people. So I was like, yeah, Andrew Yang sounds like a very sensible person. So one of my like I said, one of my friends said that, yeah, if you imagine if you give like $5,000 to a very poor person, what do you think they'll do if they drink or smoke and they do drugs? What do you think they'll do with the 5,000 rupees?
That's a very
Like,
harsh and rude argument. So I don't usually make that argument anymore because I'm tired of being called an asshole. But there's actually a nicer argument to make here that the moment the shopkeepers, the product manufacturers know that everyone around me has 5,000 rupees extra out of the blue, they will increase the price of their products. It doesn't matter how much money you give people.
that is the most logical point.
Yeah.
But वो भी है कि if everyone gets $5,000, then like most people will spend it on the worst kind of things possible,
Yeah.
imaginable.
Do you remember that actually Mamta Banerjee is probably the only politician in the history of India to quote almost verbatim Thomas Sowell last
Right?
year while she was people were demanding DA like they have always been. She said that no, we can't give DA this time. After running out of all other excuses, she said this increases inflation, so we won't give you DA. Fuck off.
अरे ना, जियो
She became a
बाबा.
libertarian in 2023.
No, I mean, wow, wow, that's wonderful.
So Mamta Banerjee.
Although employment ka, so here's the thing, like if you increase DA, and I am not for giving government servants a ton of bloated money because most of them don't do any work.
Hmm.
My point is slightly different, that this increases the buying power in a state where where buying power is severely limited,
Hmm.
right? um that does increase,
No, actually,
like,
you see, it does that only for a short while and only for the people who are getting that 5,000 rupees, whereas the inflation goes up for everyone.
hmm. No, that's there, but
And
यार कुछ भी देखो, थोड़ा सा तो वो लॉजिक है, आई अग्री विथ यू, बट बाइंग पावर थोड़ा सा तो चाहिए. मतलब बेसिकली इन वेस्ट बंगाल राइट नाउ, इफ यू थिंक अबाउट इट, इफ यू
hmm,
लुक एट what they're doing, um, whatever businesses run in West Bengal,
hmm,
even partially successful businesses,
hmm,
are all running majorly on government employee ka money.
hmm,
Okay, and this is because they treat it as a salary.
hmm,
तुम डोल आउट दोगे तो बात अलग हो जाएगा,
hmm,
सैलरी दोगे बात अलग है. नाउ हियर्स द अदर थिंग, this is coming out of the taxpayer's pocket.
hmm,
That's where the problem is, right?
hmm,
Now technically, if we had industries and all,
hmm,
then taxpayer का पैसा उतना नहीं जाता. The
hmm.
problem lies in the lack of industry in West Bengal.
Yes.
घुमा फिरा के वही आ रहा है,
Yeah.
if you think about it.
Yeah. Is there any hidden agenda of Prashant Kishore as on he declares BJP will do great in West Bengal?
So this is a big point for Bhakts because they don't trust anyone after 2021, and I totally understand that sentiment. But PK is right on this count, and I tell you why. Because PK does not give a damn about TMC. PK does not give a damn about any party. PK is trying to establish himself as the most logical opposition to Narendra Modi or
Credible,
BJP.
logical opposition in 2029
In
when Rahul
2029,
Gandhi has finally given up.
or even beyond. Like, he's clever enough to wait for 10 more years. Uska
Hmm.
age kya hai? 45,
Exactly.
46.
Yes.
So he'll be almost 50 something by that time that happens. So he will soft launch from Bihar or someplace and he'll go somewhere. So now you will say that, Acha, why is he saying good stuff about BJP right now?
Because he
He's
wants the
not-
opposition to be demolished. He wants his
No,
path
not just
clear.
that. Not just that. He wants to show himself as some kind of god who can predict elections before they happen. And it's true. And it's true. He does that. And he does that quite well, because before 2021, he said BJP will not cross 100 seats in West Bengal. Nobody believed him. He was right. बीजेपी का तो बहुत रिसोर्स लगाया था ना वेस्ट बंगाल पे, दैट्स अ फैक्ट,
Yeah.
राइट? नॉट जस्ट टीएमसी used resource, even BJP used quite a bit of money in 2021 and still lost. Now Prashant Kishore's logic was that, yeah, I am a genius, I can predict elections before they happen. And that's true. That's why people pay him, and that's why, see, उसका pulse जो दिखाता है ना public का, ये कुछ भी नहीं है. ये basically he has a team that collects a ton of data from the ground, and he is updated with that data every few days or something. So he can make claims. He can make big claims. And I'm telling you, this time he's not doing it to sabotage the BJP.
No.
He's doing it for his own brand.
Yes. And
He is doing it because he will next step is जब पूरा opposition खत्म हो जाएगा,
yes.
because you have jokers like Rahul Gandhi and people like Mamata and all, who half of them are over after 2024.
Yeah.
2029 तक आधे बचेंगे नहीं.
Yeah.
मतलब anyway half of them are old and dead. So the next logical opposition to come up will be a person who can understand the Indians really well. And he knows that no matter how well a government does, there is always a space
Yeah.
for opposition in democracy. And he is just going to monopolize that space.
And
party, he's already opened a party in Bihar, as far as
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And he will contest from there eventually.
Yeah. And no matter how well how much good welfare government actually does, not by welfare I don't mean freebies like Yogakshem in the Chanakyan sense. Even then, there's actually a runtime for every political party, that people just have had enough of this party for some time, and people just end up feeling bored with that party.
No, this is why the Congress must be kept alive. Congress Mukh Bharat is not the best idea.
Yeah, that is why Narendra Modi's attention is always laser focused on Rahul Gandhi.
नहीं वही तो, because I mean Rahul Gandhi is a much easier opposition to deal with.
Yeah.
Than Prashant Kishore.
Absolutely.
Or even CPIM. I mean, people are thinking यार CPIM का बात क्यों बोलते हैं ये लोग? But fact is that CPIM, if ever was the opposition party, like right versus left या ऐसा कुछ होता, CPIM, if it gathers momentum, is a very difficult party to take down. And we know that because we have studied it quite well.
So, but the main point is that, therefore, anyone who is in opposition to BJP today, Prashant Kishore knows that party is actually his opposition as well for 2029. So he is clearing his own path. This is clear like football.
And he's a businessman. He's not like, don't think he is a Deshbhakt or a sociologist or an academic or anything. He's a businessman. And he knows that this is a space where BJP will not have monopoly. Like politics in a multi-party democracy, you can't have a monopoly. Okay, you can't have a monopoly over power.
Abhay is saying we need a proper right-wing opposition. Not anytime soon, because the next big phase is probably Prashant Kishore.
The closest we can have is PK. The closest we can have is PK.
He's going to be further left of BJP in everything.
Left of BJP hua, but he will be like not stupid left like Congress and CPM.
I think he will be.
I have a different idea, because he is very clever. He will say industry bhi chahiye, ye chahiye, wo chahiye. वो सब CPM type का demand नहीं करेगा वो. Labor laws नहीं चाहिए ये सब. He will say all the right things. Okay. And when I say right, I mean right of right and right wing as well. So he will say all that just to, like he will get that vote. Okay. And he knows that ये factory बंद करवाना ये सब ये the typical leftist crap, it does not have a very long term appeal. You get my point, right?
I think he will end up doing it unknowingly, as an unintended consequence, like every commie always does. No commie started out with the idea that let's close down all business. They always started out with good intentions.
Now hear me out. He might be a non-Hindu right, like economic right, but Hindutva nahi hai. He might be something like that. And let's agree to disagree. Time आने में बहुत time है.
Yeah.
Some parties will be decimated in the next 2 months. I think TMC will be one of them. Chota mota parties will finish eventually.
And so you see how much Sitaram Goel's prediction has come true word for word. Congress is the Muslim League, BJP is the new Congress.
Yeah.
Exact prediction.
True, but I think BJP is much more efficient than the Congress ever was, like in many ways.
I think it is fair to say that. Because Congress never really executed on any good thing. Okay, they built IITs.
अरे IIT वे आधे जो IIT है ना अच्छे IITs, they were many of them were old British colleges and stuff.
And BJP is not that fundamentally anti-India, anti-Hindu like Congress always was. So I guess
Congress का DNA में anti-Hinduism is there.
Yeah.
सीपीएम का तो डीएनए ही एंटी हिंदू है, मतलब इज लाइक द डबल हेलिक्स स्ट्रक्चर इज ऑल एंटी हिंदू कंप्लीटली।
Hmm.
बट कांग्रेस का वो जो मतलब होता है ना कि थोड़ा जीन मॉडिफिकेशन करके होता है, वो है ऑलवेज दैट दैट पार्ट ऑफ दैट जीन वाज ऑलवेज
Hmm.
देयर, एंटी हिंदू एंटी इंडिया।
Hmm. Okay,
सो
Indian political TV is asking a nice question. CPIM ruled both in West Bengal and Tripura, but why the per capita income of Tripura is better than West Bengal?
because you see that, as far as I understand, and this is again, economics is not my cup of tea
Hmm.
in any way. What I understand is Tripura had a lower population, I think,
It's a very
and
small state.
it's a very small state. Number one, number two is most of the so people in Tripura are government employees. Like जो भी काम करता है,
Hmm.
I think 80% of the employees in any sector are government employees,
Yeah,
basically.
Bernie Sanders' wet dream.
Yeah. And West Bengal never could, like, West Bengal has a way larger population,
Hmm.
so it could not do what the Tripura government did. West Bengal उतना सरकारी नौकरी था तो West Bengal government उठे पूरा ये हो जाए, आपका हो जाए तो पूरा, so could not do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See, people are pointing out that all of these elite institutions were built by someone else. It was not entirely Congress's credit.
Yeah. मैं तो
Yeah.
वही बोल रहा हूँ. I knew that because
Hmm.
I heard of some places that were like old Britain, like some dude from Britain came and established some college,
Hmm.
which was nice. You see,
Hmm.
one thing I respect about the British a lot is the educational institutes they built were solid at that time.
Whatever you want to come out of it, that will come out.
हाँ,
The things that the
नहीं,
British
बाद
wanted
में
to come out.
उनको सब यूनियनबाजी करके खत्म कर दिया. That is different.
Hmm.
My point is, when they were built back in the day,
Hmm.
they were serious places of academic rigor, mane the world class universities of the time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And here we mean that since many people will wonder what academic rigor are we talking about those anti-Hindu people. The point
Matlab
is
people like Salvatore Babones would probably study in Calcutta University. That's what I mean.
exactly, and
Study or teach in Calcutta University
yeah, it is all
instead of,
about what the authorities or the government wants to
yeah,
come out of that university. That may be bad, but whatever they want that actually happens. It's not a
yeah.
non-functional, it's not a dysfunctional situation in a British scenario. That is what.
Precisely.
Is Saurav Ganguly commie or TMC guy? No one knows this question answer.
He's nothing. He's a, I don't want to use the W word. He's
Probably the
that
cleverest Bengali alive.
cleverest नहीं है उनका. He's very short term guy. कुछ नहीं होगा. बीजेपी आएगा तो खत्म उसका. Amit Shah never forgets who backstabbed him. So forget it. Ask Ahmed Patel. Do planchette and ask Ahmed Patel what Amit Shah did to him before he
How did
died.
sort of backstab Amit Shah?
So BJP made him BCCI president,
Hmm.
and they expected ki Dada will contest in 2021 as the
Hmm.
CM face or something.
Hmm.
And Dada to politics and হাত গলা মানে দাদা চে ধরি মাছ না ছুঁই পানি.
Hmm.
I will catch the fish, but I won't get my hands wet. Okay.
Hmm.
So this is precisely what the क्या बोले, what Dada did. So he said I can't campaign for BJP or anything.
Hmm.
So then they removed him eventually.
Hmm. Okay, I want to respond to Darshit here. He's saying, Dada, what do you mean by anti-Hindu? A party with an ideology to hate Hindus. If not intentionally, most of Congress people were always anti-Hindu unknowingly because they were essentially European secular atheist sort of people who thought that Hinduism is backward because we have caste system which apparently no other society has ever had. We have idol worship. Then we had sati pratha. So Hinduism was full of problems, and therefore they had to be anti-Hindu as a good thing for mankind. That see, we are benefiting the mankind by being anti-Hindu. That was the mentality of Congress.
I think at least till 2014, or even a bit after that, remember that saying that you are a Hindu was a crime almost publicly.
Yeah, Hindu word was a very uncomfortable word.
Nobody said I am proud to be a Hindu. Nobody. Like everyone was supposed to apologize, bend his head down. क्या वो Black Lives Matter के लिए क्या करता है? Bend the knee. और ये करके बोलना पड़ता था I am sorry I am a Hindu. So this is very much what Congress and left did for 70 years.
Yeah. August Edo is that PhD physics guy is asking, will Prashant Kishore fizzle out like Kejriwal? Do you think Kejriwal is fizzling out? Is he not going to be back with a bang
वो हो
soon?
गया उसका खत्म.
Are you sure?
केजरीवाल was a one. ये सब ना ये remember one thing. The movements that produce a political party,
Hmm.
मतलब political parties that come out of a movement,
Hmm.
can never last. Okay. ये logic ही है, because you see the logic of their existence depends on crime once they come to power.
Hmm.
The logic of their existence is not better governed. देखो BJP and CPM will survive a nuclear attack even simply because that people, people of these parties, they have a vision for society. Even if it's like 10 people in India, okay,
Hmm.
एक vision है, and people pick up on that vision
Hmm.
sometimes.
Hmm.
अभी प्रो हिंदू चल रहा है, so people are picking that up.
Hmm.
एक टाइम पे लेफ्ट का था, they will pick the, even in the future they might pick up them, more people might go to the left,
Hmm.
right? When things go well, people have nothing to do and do
Yeah.
CPM.
Absolutely.
Okay. But movement से जो आता है, like Mamata Banerjee and Kejriwal,
Hmm.
they have no purpose once the movement is over, once they come to power.
Hmm. They are the dog chasing the cars, etc. They are not going to drive the car, they are just chasing the car.
Yeah, so वो नहीं होगा. PK is something else. Like I said, PK is a businessman. He knows he is under no he has no um क्या बोलूं मैं, he is very confident in what he is, okay, what he wants,
Hmm.
and he knows that opposition space is very big in India. I will capture that.
Hmm.
That's what he wants. That's what he does, and he will not fizzle out so fast because of that.
Hmm. Okay, we have suddenly there are like 7-10 great questions. Okay, do you have the time to get to them?
10 minutes.
Okay. Niner is saying, but BJP was born during the Ram Janmabhoomi movement. Not entirely, because it had its predecessor parties, right?
जनसंघ तो था ना,
Yeah.
50s से जनसंघ was
Okay.
there.
Let's start the questions from here. Um, Congress will be split into two, Pappu and Babli. Where did the Priyanka Gandhi question? Yeah. If Priyanka Gandhi takes over Congress, will it be less commie? I think it will be as commie, but it will be efficient. What do you think?
No, पप्पू पप्पी वो same stuff. They are
Okay.
the, you think लड़की हूँ कर सकती हूँ, what do you think any logical person would say this
No,
in a
not
place?
because of that. I think she actually listens to people from the ground
No.
level, which
वो
Rahul Gandhi
सब
doesn't.
सुनो. Do hear this podcast by that one ANI podcast. उसमें that guy came, Shehzad and another
Aditi
woman,
Singh.
Aditi, and they will tell you how Priyanka is. ये कोई अच्छा नहीं है.
Hmm.
अरे you forget one thing, dude. You grow up in private planes, jets, mansions. You never used Lux soap in your life to clean yourself. Okay, your bloody dog has a better hygiene regime than
Yeah.
most middle class people in the world.
Hmm.
So ये सब लोग कभी, they can't do well on the ground ever.
Then
It's
what about Vivek Ramaswamy?
Vivek is not very. Do you think Vivek resonates very much with the poor people of
Yes.
his? The main reason he does resonate is because the poor people hate Biden. एक बात, you see, Vivek makes a lot of sense. He's awesome and all that. और ये भी देखो, Americans debate stuff like immigration and subsidy and ये सब. हमारे यहाँ people will not even debate. The people are still debating whether they need whether they need a unemployment check or मतलब और अलग बात है, people are still debating caste and stuff, right?
Yeah, the debate is whether the Lokir Bhanda should be 3,000 rupees or 1,200 rupees.
Exactly. So Pappu Pappi, same stuff.
Don't you
नहीं
think
होगा.
Himachal was won because of Priyanka?
Hut. Himachal Pradesh was one because BJP couldn't do much.
Yeah, there was lots of backstabbings, etc.
अरे वो forget it. Elections are with Congress. It's like Congress is just वो होता है ना, like it's a moth that it's a caterpillar that will turn into a butterfly. So Congress MLAs are like that. Congress MLAs are caterpillars that will turn into BJP butterflies. In,
The acorn has the potential to grow into an oak tree.
yeah, वही है.
Dada, what do you think about Rammohan Roy after Srijit Datta discussion? Now I realize that the history is convoluted enough to not give a shit about anymore. I'm now I've lost interest in it officially. Pinaki, what's your opinion on Pinaki Bhattacharya? Who is Pinaki Bhattacharya?
Is he the guy who converted to Islam or something?
Oh, that Islamist guy from Bangladesh.
He's a joker.
Yeah. No, that actually is a great argument in against commies who say that all conversion is happening because of Brahmin oppression. Why is this Brahmin guy
ये
converting
तो
to Islam?
সুমন চট্টোপাধ্যায়, পিনাকি ভট্টাচার্য, everyone.
Hmm. And then becoming and not even converting out of force. It's not like a Brahmin got converted out of force. He converted out of his without violent means, and he's a Brahmin himself. No one's oppressing him.
वो सब बेकार है अभी. I think
BJP
Richard
will.
Eaton पढ़ो, and this is why I don't completely reject Richard Eaton no matter what Dr. Day says. I think that he has some value.
Why? What opinion of his do you agree with?
Because of not of caste, but rather where Islam came about was because of the state formation processes that happened during the Mughal era. That primarily tribals and many others got converted to Islam without the sword. Okay. Because even with the sword, many people did not. So देखो जहाँ पे ब्राह्मण वामन थे, जहाँ पे dominant caste was strong like Rajputs, Brahmins, these kind of people. There the lower caste did not convert because the local elites were Hindu, proud Hindu, or whatever, or proud of their caste, either way, or both. Okay,
I see.
But the local elites, যেখানে Kazi and these kind of people, there they converted because the local elites, incentivize that.
Yeah.
और भी अलग factors हैं. One must read Rise of Islam in the Eastern Frontier, but still it's quite like one basic thing is that Brahmin जहाँ पे नहीं था वहीं पे actually the highest amount of Muslims came up. And I have another point regarding this whole thing. It's without reading the Quran in Arabic, how can somebody even convert to Islam knowingly?
I have a friend who says that that friend I'm talking about who said that BJP coming to power and killing 5 Muslims is worse than Trinamool coming to power and killing 100 CPM workers. So he actually has a friend whom I've met as well from presidency, Bengali, Brahmin, who has converted to Islam in 2016 or 17. Yeah.
ये ब्राह्मण लोगों
He's
को
probably
क्या-
from your batch. Are you aware of any such person from presidency?
I don't know. I'll check.
Okay. BJP will come to BJP will
Did I
become.
go? I didn't go to presidency. Why?
Yeah, but didn't you know a lot of people from presidency?
Yeah. वो मैं ढूंढ लूंगा किसी को.
Yeah. BJP also got boosted from a movement. Yeah. That Pinaki. Where did the good questions go? BJP movement. Congress also came out of a movement like okay. Congress movement.
Congress did not come out of a movement.
Congress did not come out of a movement at all. It was made by Alan Octavian Hume to prevent another 1857-like situation. The official term for Congress was safety valve that let them vent out some frustration, the English-speaking elite. Let them not take up
and
arms.
Congress was a conglomerate, has always been a conglomerate of zamindars. So it had its purpose ready from the very beginning.
And it was compulsory to know English to join Congress.
Yeah.
There was no even ma of movement in Congress.
In fact, it went against every good movement.
Yeah, even people like Surendranath Banerjee. He said that I don't want independence. In fact, I don't want independence so hard that the people who are asking for independence should be sent to asylums.
Asylum.
Dada, your thoughts on Netaji was always voice for Ramayana and culture, as he believed those are the foundations of culture, but still he believed religion in politics should not be weaponized. I haven't read Netaji's works at all, so there's no point commenting on this because it seems very, very contradictory. So I don't wonder what the real history is.
And Netaji was such a fascinating character that you have to read a bunch of stuff to Okay, now there is Chandrachud Ghosh's channel where he has addressed this issue specifically, that was Netaji not a Hindutva, like an advocate of Hindutva, and Netaji
Mm-hmm.
did say
Yeah.
some stuff that could be very well, that could fit very well with the Hindutva vision of Savarkar and all.
Hmm.
Close to what Savarkar was
I've
saying.
heard he also criticized Savarkar or Hindu Mahasabha.
नहीं नहीं, वो इलेक्टोरल था. पीपल
Okay.
एक्ट लाइक ही किल्ड श्यामा प्रसाद. अरे वो नहीं था. बेसिकली दे हैड अ फाइट इन द, क्या बोलूं मैं, इन द म्युनिसिपल, कलकत्ता म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन इलेक्शंस.
Okay.
वैसे तो होता ही है, मतलब ये लेफ्ट और टीएमसी लड़ते थे एक टाइम पे, अभी दोस्त हो गए हैं, लेफ्ट
Hmm.
एंड कांग्रेस.
Hence the phrase that Subhash ke boja shakto.
हाँ, and more importantly, he was a professional politician,
Hmm.
Netaji. Okay,
Hmm.
he was a no nonsense guy. तो वो उसको जीतना था. He did what he had to. Okay.
Hmm. S.
Hindu Mahasabha was
Chakraborty's.
a big force back then. वो भी याद रखना पड़ता है.
Huh?
Like Bengalis, Hindu Mahasabha was popular among Bengali Hindus at that
Yeah.
time. So that is also worth remembering.
Yeah. Savarkar was coming to Kolkata to give speeches. I like Priyanka more as a forever opposition.
हाँ हाँ हाँ, अरे जो भी हो, कांग्रेस पप्पू पप्पी, डजंट मैटर, बट दे शुड बी केप्ट, वेल फेड एंड केप्ट इन पावर in some parts of this country, just to keep a facade of an opposition. पीके को हैंडल करना डिफिकल्ट होगा.
Hmm. Now we have a super chat question which is very funny. He's saying, our prime minister. Why are you writing this in Bengali when we are having an English podcast? Why do you want me to translate and spend extra 2-3 minutes in my mind doing that? Our prime minister wears kurta pajama in G7 and G20, and seeing that many other people might feel uncomfortable or probably uncomfortable. What are its pros and cons of wearing kurta pajama?
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense because he is like, have you noticed one thing, like people are actually now proud to say they're Hindu or Indian or
Hmm.
both, right?
Yeah.
Even Nas Daily is making videos on the greatness of Hinduism and all that. Like,
Yeah, in
so
Banaras.
yeah, and Modi is responsible for that. 10
Hmm.
साल पहले खुद को हिंदू बोलना was very difficult,
Hmm.
and that is good.
Yeah.
That's it. Basically, that's all I have to say. Like, thanks to Modi, now at least Randeep Hooda's mother mainstream actor is making Savarkar, right?
Hmm.
2014 से पहले making a movie on Savarkar itself was controversial.
Hmm.
अलग बात है. Like Pandey, Lata Mangeshkar's father got kicked out of his job simply because he said that Savarkar was a great poet.
Hmm. Yeah. Where is Kanhaiya Kumar these days? Blue-eyed star campaigner of left ecosystem.
तो बेगूसराय में क्या कर रहा है भगवान जाने. उसका तो
Begusara is
एक,
the Stalingrad of India.
yes,
Or
and
Leningrad.
he's a joke. वो बिहार में, I don't think he'll be able to do much. ये he's a regional face. पीके के सामने वो कुछ नहीं है basically.
Abir Zain is saying, Dada, what do you think about the package from Amit Shah to Anuj Dhar? Something loading. The grubby little package like in Harry Potter.
Package to Anuj Dhar, I don't know. What is this?
I don't know. It might have been a news somewhere. Maybe Anuj Dhar has received some gift from Amit Shah or something. Can you elaborate on that? Who asked that question?
I don't know.
What's Buddhadev Bhattacharya archive saying? Yes, it's true that Netaji criticized Hindu Mahasabha. Okay, that तो done. Rahul Baba को
ये
कोई
smart लोग बोलते ही रहेंगे. ये same as Mafi Veer. It doesn't make sense. Frankly, Chandrachud Ghosh has addressed this in great detail in Bengali. You guys might want to go to his channel and check it out.
Hmm. But Netaji's government name was Arzi Hukumate Azad Hind, and his post was Sipe Salar. Official language was Urdu, written in Latin.
See, honestly, again, I am not a Netaji fanboy, nor am I an expert on Netaji. So why he did what he did was beyond my, understanding. But it is a fact that Netaji was a proud Hindu. He was a proud disciple of Swami Vivekananda. He has done stuff for this country very few people have done. Okay. That's all. Let's not
Abhay,
go into what all details of what he did, you know.
Abhay is saying he wanted Hinduism to be a proselytizing faith.
हाँ वो भी हो सकता है. Like that's what I'm saying, you know, dude, that fascinating. You can't judge him over a podcast or something. And plus I don't have the knowledge to judge a person like that. I
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah,
Right.
see, history has a very specific role. History's role is to give you a broad knowledge of things, give you a direction. History is not that important. It's important to some extent to at least know that yes, you had great ancestors, you were a great proud civilization. Up until that, exactly how great, what percentage of our GDP growth rate happened between 300 BC to 302 BC, that sort of thing does not matter. Um
Exactly.
S. Chakraborty is saying Amit Shah is sending some files to specific people. Anuj Dhar also got it.
That may not, like, Amit Shah sending files is not always good news, you know. So, I will not comment on that. So anyway, let's wrap it up then slowly.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Last question from Abhishek Mukherjee. What will be the key points of the BJP manifesto this time? POK, UCC, preamble amendment, judicial reforms, or IS
yeah,
reform?
they did like half the stuff they were supposed to do. So I guess
Judicial,
UCC बाकी है. Main reforms में UCC बाकी है. They
CA.
will not officially promise Kashi Mathura, so I don't know what that will happen, what
Hmm.
that will do.
Hmm.
Or basically judicial reform रह जाएगा, but I don't think they'll officially announce much of it because
Hmm.
I don't think Modi ji wants to rattle the judiciary before he wins the next election.
Of course. Yeah.
Hmm.
He has Abhijit Ganguly for that.
बहुत कुछ होगा, तुम देखो ना. 2004 June, a lot of things will happen.
Okay. And as for CAA, I think that is unstoppable at the moment. I'm concluding that from the Eric Garcetti interview with Smita Prakash, because the three main points of contention that Smita Prakash brought up, NRI student deaths, Khalistan, and CAA. Eric Garcetti gave insane, weird, assholey apologia for Khalistan and NRI student deaths. He absolutely sidelined didn't want to discuss the CAA topic at all. And even his own comments, his ministry, foreign secretary, Department of State comments, completely ignored that topic.
अरे वो उनका ना अमेरिकन गवर्नमेंट में बहुत ये फैक्शंस है, देख के यूनाइटेड लगता है. Actually they have a ton of factions, and I think one of the factions was against CA, but that doesn't mean Biden and all, Blinken and Biden will go against CA so officially this time.
Yeah.
अरे उनके आधे वोटर तो इंडियन है ना, इंडियन डोनर वोटर आधे इंडियन है. फिर उसके बाद मोदी जी नहीं आएंगे तुम्हारे लिए कैंपेन करने, वैसे भी नहीं आएंगे. बट व्हाटएवर, आई मीन देयर इज अ बंच ऑफ स्टफ दैट दे डोंट वांट टू मेस अप राइट नाउ. देख ही रहे कि जा जाके कोई अननोन गनमैन मार रहा है. सो आई डोंट थिंक दे आर. The funny thing is the US, when the US highlights that India is killing people abroad, that's the funny thing. Like they expected कि यहाँ पे बहुत लोग like रोएंगे. Lavanya from South Delhi will cry. Okay, so they base that assumption on that.
How stupid is that accusation? Are they not aware at all of?
No. अरे देखो ना, ये लोग liberals, देखो ये लोग सबको अमेरिकन सोचते हैं. Now when Americans kill, American army kills people somewhere, they are like so sad. CIA is killing people in Nicaragua or whatever. Okay, they are sad. But ये लोग ये नहीं सोचते कि we were oppressed so long. अभी किसी को मार रहा है तो लोग खुश हो रहा है.
Yeah, and
they
India
don't
has
understand na. This is the fundamental problem of Pappu and Pappi, because they have never seen a poor person. Real poor person को कभी नहीं देखा है life में. So they're the poorest person they know has a 10 lakh rupee income in a year.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're the poorest person they know.
Yeah.
So how will they know what an actual poor person does? So America ने Europe देखा है, ये देखा है ना, and they appointed like 10 experts who are all libtards from South Delhi. So they don't know what actual Indians think.
And it's not even just about the ground level people. It's Indian academics have produced anti-colonial or post-colonial literature, which is basically anti-USA to the teeth for 18 years, for at least 50 years.
वो भी है.
And they thought anyone in India was going to have some sympathy for USA, saying that why is your country sending hired goons to other countries?
हाँ वो तो है ही कि US, whatever it accuses other countries of doing, it has done way worse stuff वो सेम लॉजिक वाज द सीपीएम.
Yeah.
सीपीएम जो भी लोगों को एक्यूज करता है, सीपीएम हैज डन 10 times worse things than that in its time in power. So वैसे भी these things don't make sense to most people, and most people are just happy Modi is doing whatever he's doing, so it doesn't matter.
Okay then, Mr.
Yeah.
Sociologist, this was a great discussion. Thank you for joining our live stream.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Bye bye. Tomorrow we have with us journalist Deep Haldar. And day after tomorrow we have Dr. Shomode back with us to discuss caste system and Jati Varna and whether they are status groups or not. Good night guys. Bye bye.